Peter, your evening is a little bit uncharacteristic, though recent nights have been due to the loss of your other packmates. A familiar face greets you at the door near the back entrance of the smokehouse where you first met our friend. He doesn't answer. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't poke at you, which is his usual method. Instead, he walks to the front of the vehicle and you see the passenger side door open. A very different welcome than you first received.
Fine.
You climb in? Alright. You share the cab with him. It's fairly spacious. He turns the engine over and the two of you begin the drive in silence, leaving New Orleans behind. It takes you about half of the trip towards Laplace before he actually speaks. You pass the time in silence, and he offers you a pack of cigarettes, very similar to before.
He takes one as well.
It's
He uses the in-car thing.
mm-hmm,
In-car
from his
cigarette.
previous.
Yeah.
That gets a wry chuckle out of Smokey before he replaces it for you. I'm not gonna ask. I don't want to know. Will we be able to go back?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna make you turn right around.
Well, we'll have to deal with that.
Do you think any of them are still kicking?
Maybe. But they ain't gonna last long.
No, especially if they start singing.
Well, yeah.
I'll keep an ear out.
I'm sure we
Hmm?
might pick one or two up. But I'll have to deal with those.
Probably. There's a new batch with the
Okay.
gardener. I'm gonna take you over there and drop you. Well, we're gonna pick them up, and then I'm gonna drop you guys off in Laplace.
Okay. Hopefully these ones are better.
Um, they accepted it a lot faster. Although I think half of them were still stoned.
Mm. Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
They reminded me of you, actually. Just
Can't have been that
matter of
good.
fact. Hey, I said reminded. I didn't say they were like you. Not exactly.
Hmm.
There's there's someone stinking up Laplace. They're gonna go put an ear to the ground and figure out what they can find out about him.
Okay, we can do that.
It's might be someone similar to you and what you can do.
Okay, we can definitely find that.
I don't know if they're one of ours or one of theirs. And he points back over his shoulder in the direction of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But they turned tail and ran up to Laplace.
Okay.
So if you can figure it out, that'd be even better, but do with them what you will.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
And with that, he turns on the radio and you spend the rest of the hour and a half drive to Laplace in silence. The rest of you awake in much of the same fashion as prior, with the gardener sitting this time near the open archway to the sleeping area in the recently repaired chair. They have their hands folded on their lap and one knee kicked over the other as they wait, silently watching out over the alcoves.
I imagine Hank's probably an early riser. Like from his mortal days, he was an early riser. I imagine he just wouldn't like when as soon as he wakes up, he's just going to be straight up, make bed, get himself prepared, and get to work.
So you're likely the first one up and at 'em, and you notice that the gardener is sitting in the chair that you repaired the day previously.
I also imagine like while Hank was doing the repairs on the chair, he's probably like looking around the place if there's anything else that needs fixing, and his brain's going to be instantly on get up and go to work.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't like being idle, so his first thought will be he'll like nod at the gardener, and then he'll unless the gardener stops him, he's going to go and start working on stuff.
The gardener will not stop you, however, on your way past, they will politely clear their throat. Um, our transport will be here in a few hours. If you have any questions before then, please seek me out.
Of course, and if you need me, shout or
You
get
did
one
a
of them
good
to
job.
shout. Thanks.
They nod and simply return their gaze back over the alcoves.
I mean, he'll try and do work in or around where the gardener is and where everyone else is going to be, so he's not too far away. Like when
Mhm.
everyone else starts getting up, he'll probably come in and start fussing around, fixing furniture or fixing like door frames or something. He can't help himself but do things.
Right. I imagine, in fact, because most of this is molded directly out of the earth, you may be fitting door frames.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're making it actually look a little bit more refined. And they don't seem to mind. Like, they've not told you to stop. They've not told you that what you're doing is out of place. They're just observing.
I mean, his primary thought process is function first. So
Mhm.
if there's something that's broken or something that can be improved upon, that's his first port of call, and then aesthetics comes after that. So if everything's all working, then fixing things like putting decent doors on things and that sort of thing.
Everything appears to be in working order.
Yeah, okay,
You
upgrade them.
upgrades and you know their fixation with planters of any type
Hmm.
because you've seen the various types in the neat rows up above and now below. You've also seen the tiered layer of more or less a hanging garden style. That's where you fed originally
Hmm.
from the plants. So you know that there's a focus there, which may also ingratiate you. Even if that's not your intent, you know that they would be probably grateful or most that would be something they would be more likely to use.
So I don't think that's necessarily his thought process, but what will be going through Frank's mind because he's old-fashioned is
Mhm.
we've been given hospitality, and it's only right and proper for me to repay that by doing something in order to help the guy out.
Right.
So if planters are a thing, then if maintenance needs to be done on the planters, or if new planters need to be constructed, then that's what he'll do. He'll also be taking inventory of what is here. So, do we need creosote? Do we need nails? Do we need etc. etc. He'll be
Oh, you
making a
need
mental note.
most construction items you need.
And in that case, I'm gonna have a shopping list when we go out.
Yeah. So everything here is very minimal outside of the tools. You have plenty of tools. You don't have screws, nails, nuts, bolts. You don't
Lumber.
have planks. Yeah, you don't have lumber. You don't have paint. You don't have any sealants or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, that being stated, if you're looking for items for function and repair, you would likely focus on the dingy shack above
That'll
because
probably get a bit of care as well. To be fair.
yeah, the garden shack, while not neglected, definitely looks like it has not been used in a long time, which is very clearly misleading because each of you entered through there. And the trap door in the floor was fine. Like that was well taken care of. But the door and the shed itself are aged lumber that has not been treated.
All right, I got a shopping list then.
All right. Jules, you're the second to awake. As we know, the good doctor has some trouble leaving the bed.
She'll wake up, stretch, and then fiddle with her lighter, and probably have that joint that that she got off the guys in the previous episode.
Okay.
How bad would she be needing one now?
It'd be about time for you to have one. To be fair, you're not having withdrawals, you're not jonesing, but at the same time, you're starting to miss the scent and the taste.
Gotcha. She'll go ahead and kind of turn away from anyone that's facing him and light up the joint and
Mm.
take a couple of puffs. I don't know if she'll
You-
like finish it because it's her only joint, so she'll probably take a couple of puffs and then put it out and then put it in her pocket, in the with her pack of cigarettes,
Mhm.
and then get out a cigarette and then light it up as well.
You hear a not necessarily a soft voice, but one that you recognize as the gardener from probably around the corner, because I know you're second or third one down from the actual entrance, so you don't have direct line of sight, but you hear them speak. Um, you'll find more pleasure in that type of activity if you rouse your blood first.
How does one? She'll turn and she'll look at the gardener and how does one do that? What is that?
Some of us call it the blush of life. Some have a very easy time of doing it, others it's more difficult for. It gives you the semblance of having your blood flowing freely like before when you were mortal.
Oh, okay. She'll close her eyes and try to will her blood to do such a thing.
All right. Go ahead and give me a rouse check. And for everyone, please give me a rouse check for a new evening.
I get hungrier.
Where's that on the sheet?
Give me just a moment.
Under hunger on
Yes.
your yeah.
Directly under your hunger bar. Perfect. Look at that. Halvesies. Happy you get hungrier.
Oh, I didn't get. Oh, sorry, I was looking riches. Yeah.
I do like the fact that if you fail it, it goes ahead and ups your hunger.
Yeah,
you,
it's just
so you don't-
automatic. I love the
Oh, it's
automation of
automatic,
this
that's
new
cool.
sheet.
Yeah.
The automation is so nice. Jules, it takes you a few moments and you actually start to feel a little bit lightheaded before you realize it's starting to work. You bring your hands up to your face and you touch it, and there's warmth starting to spread through both your palms and your cheeks as you do so. And you realize that the dizziness you're feeling is the lingering inhale you had taken before you actually make yourself exhale.
And then she'll like first notice that she's not breathing because, well, I don't know. Would she be old enough, or would it be still second nature of trying to?
It would
To
still
breathe.
be second nature for a lot of you, so our good friend Peter, you've probably already realized you don't need to, and unless you are in a situation where you want to blend in, you don't have to. However, each of you, this is only your second full night, really. Sorry, this is your third night. You would
Sh-
still be getting used to it.
She'll take another drag on the cigarette and like feel like I imagine since it's like where it's kind of numb
Mhm.
beforehand. Now it's like she can really taste the nicotine and probably
Yes.
the fiberglass in the filter. Then again, I don't know when they did filters. I don't know my cigarette history.
That's okay. That just means you don't have the habit.
Yeah, well, she's like doing that, and then she'll smile and it's like, I feel it. I feel flush, like warmth in her cheeks.
Good. You've already managed to do it. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Going forward, if you're in a situation where you feel you may begin to stand out, it is recommended. Consider it a perk of being a predator, mingling with the prey.
Even if in life I was pretty pale, I don't know how. Am I? Do I look more pale now usually?
Um, those who knew you well would be able to tell.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I'm not as pale, I suppose.
There's nothing wrong with being pale.
Well,
Oscar, you wake up to the scent of tobacco as well as wacky tobacco.
Very grown. Just why in here? Go outside.
okay. Then she'll go and get the lantern and then try to find her way outside.
It's very easy. You pick up the lantern off of the wall next to your alcove. Gardener nods their head towards you as you pass by, and you're familiar enough with the layout at this point that you go through the central circle and up the steps out of the garden shed.
And she'll take her and then take another drag and kind of smile and chill for a little bit and finish her cigarette. And as everybody else is finding their place and doing whatever their morning routine is.
Oscar will kind of toss and turn and try to pretend he doesn't need to get up. Not
As
that,
you lay
you
there,
know,
the lingering scent continues to lay in the room due to the lack of active circulation in here.
begrudgingly he will leave the room then. A very we have a job to do, but I don't want to do it.
Stepping out of your alcove, you notice that there is a small haze over where Jules had been resting, as it does not take you as long as it felt like it did to relieve yourself of the stench in the area. You notice the gardener sitting to the side of the doorway. They direct their gaze towards you, incline their head, and then once you move past, will stand and pick up the chair they were sitting on.
Uh, I'm if I see Frank, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, if I see Frank meandering around, sorry, y'all have such similar names. Uh, if I see Frank meandering around fixing doors and stuff like that, I'm going to stay out of his way. I do not want to get roped into fixing doors also. And I will politely wait for our escort to arrive.
Okay.
And Frank won't rope anybody in to help him. Like, even if it looks like you're making some efforts to try and help, he'll look really grumpy at you. Like, this is my thing.
Frank, I would like to know where you go within the underground area as well as above ground in
I
your
mean,
process of looking for things to potentially repair. You have not been barred from anywhere to your understanding so far.
so primarily, it will be the sleeping area where everyone else is. I'll be looking for things to do there. If I can't find anything to do there, I will move on to the rest of the. So I want to go and have a look at where the planters and stuff are, and take a look at the planters. I'm not interested in messing around with them. I just want to have a look at them and see what the state of repair is. If they have anything that needs doing to them in order to make them general maintenance, that sort of stuff, or upgrades if we can do upgrades without disturbing the plants themselves.
Mhm.
The furthest he'll go is up to the workshop to grab bits that he needs in order to do whatever he's doing. But he's mostly going to be hanging around the sleeping area or where the planters are.
Okay, so the sleeping area itself does not have anything outside of the molded earth items of the alcoves and the semblances of bed within them. The items you are almost certain were brought in by others or left by others in the process of moving through here for future individuals that would stay. The gardener seems to be considerate, but you also see that a lot of their items are a bit eclectic outside of the bookshelves and the planters.
Yeah.
There's a very specific, almost singular type of focus for them. As for the planters, you could do upgrades easily. There are a few pieces of lumber here and there that need to be replaced because they're starting to rot. You can tell that. Most of the upgrades you think would probably be supportive wire or stakes for some of the plants that seem to be both starting to take off, but have a, if there were in the case of a vine growing. So there's at least one planter that would benefit from probably chicken wire and some metal poles.
So Frank knows literally nothing about plants whatsoever. So
This would
his
just be general things you've seen
yeah,
before too.
that's stuff that that's really obvious to him or is structural is what he's really looking at. But what he'll do when he's looking at the plant is he'll make a mental note of everything that he thinks needs to be done, and then he'll go and speak to the gardener about it, because he doesn't want to do anything until he's not going to just randomly go on and say, "Oh, by the way, I've taken all your planters apart and put them back together again, much nicer," and then for him to turn around and go, "What have you done?"
When you address the planters, you are given permission to remove and replace the rotted pieces of wood. They don't mind that. And if you bring up the situation of chicken wire and potentially support poles, they consider it for a few moments and then nod. It's almost as though they had not thought of adding that to the garden, but it does make sense.
Mhm.
Um, when you discuss the sleeping area, they state that the area itself is already complete. However, if you would like to add things to it, they are not opposed.
The only thing I can think of that I'd like to add to it, particularly to our alcoves in the first instance, is I want to see if I can find some spare blankets, and I want to see if I can find something that I can use as curtain rails and put them up above the alcove so that people have got like a little bit of privacy if they want a bit of privacy. That's the only thing I can think of that I want to kind of like really make changes to. But I mean, he'll run everything past the gardener anyway, and he'll just crack on with stuff if he's got the materials, and if he hasn't, he'll make a note. So when they go out, he's going to be insistent they go and find somewhere to go and get some materials from, or wherever he goes, he's going to tear it out of wherever he goes to.
You know you're going to need materials for everything that you want to do, and when it comes to wanting to put up the curtain rods, they're willing. They don't mind that, but they do request that you only do it for your alcoves for the time being.
Yeah.
They feel that you have earned a degree of trust, and so they're willing to give you the privacy that you're requesting in return. But for those that they do not know yet, they would like to have the other open alcoves.
What about electric lights down here? Because, I mean,
You have not seen a single cable since you've been here.
Okay. So that would be on my list as well. Because it's damn dark down here.
Yes, it is. Everything you have are torches and oil-based lamps. Primarily just oil-based lamps.
And I've got this thing in the back of my head, like, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. I don't know why.
Oh, it isn't. But there seems to be a degree of comfort and lack of concern on that front. However, if you want to do cabling and lights, they're willing to let you, if you have that knowledge, bring that here.
Mhm.
But it has to be able to be kept specifically to like the area underneath, or if it can be separate and not particularly noticeable, it can be done for the workshop area as well.
Mhm.
A few hours pass into your evening for each of you, and you hear the telltale sound of tires running much too quickly over gravel and slipping and sliding in a bit of mud before there is the view of the meat wagon. It whips half of the circle up to the front of the church and idles.
Jules will put out her cigarette and walk up to the meat wagon.
Do you go
Imagine.
to the passenger side or the driver's side?
Probably the driver's side, since Smokey's probably still in the driver's seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He slowly rolls down the window.
Hey, how's it going?
Ooh, somebody started early.
Well, it's
I'm
okay.
messing with you, kid.
Oh,
I got a new friend for your group. They're going to be joining per request of others for your first outing.
oh, okay. Is he in the
And
back?
he leans back just enough so if Peter's like trying to get a look but not make it too obvious, Peter's just fully exposed. You can see.
Well, not fully exposed. I am clothed.
Okay,
Oh.
that's a very important distinction. Properly exposed,
Oh.
not fully exposed.
Okay. Well, then I take back that. Jules won't be like, "How you doing?"
Nice penis.
What were you two lads up to? Anyway.
So I take it that
Hey, Hoodles.
Hi, I'm Jules.
Pete, what's Mia?
Nice to meet you too. So how long have you been one of us?
A while.
Oh, well, newborn is am I? Do we call ourselves newborns if we're newborns? Like, a day? Oh,
You probably don't want to know what you're actually called.
oh, is it that bad?
Peter, you're aware of the process, and you're also aware that she and other newer individuals would be called shovelheads from the experience.
We'll go with newborns.
Okay. After like I'm not considered a newborn, then I would want to know what what the term is.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll appraise that.
I mean, you're gonna learn it eventually anyway.
Oh, okay. Is it that bad?
Oh, it's just kind of insulty. Literal. It's very literal.
So coffins?
You got hit over the head, didn't you?
Yeah, in a coffin. Buried
Especially.
alive. Is it the buried? Are we known as the buried?
Peter, this is the first time you've heard of somebody being buried for the process. You did not have that experience.
I imagine Frank will walk up at this point and he'll just shout out, "We're called FNGs."
What's FNGs?
Smokey, you hear Smokey like raspy laughing next to Peter in the cab.
Fucking new guys.
Oh.
Yeah, it's always the F and G's fault too.
Like Frank's got like a pencil stuck behind his ear,
Mm-hmm.
and his hands are dirty. He's got sawdust all over him, and he looks grumpy. So normal.
Looks like somebody's been busy.
Yeah.
Frank.
Is there like a lumberyard nearby?
Probably something that you could find down in La Paz. There's been some construction recently.
On the way back, I'm
Oh.
gonna need some stuff.
Actually, there is a planned community. Is that what they're trying to call them these days? There's a new housing area that's opening up, and they've got a lot of stuff laying out there. They just finished 4 of the first ones.
Perfect. You mind if we mind if I grab some stuff and put it in the back of your truck on the way back?
Not at all, as long as you know what you want and where it is.
I know I want. I don't know where it is, but I'll figure it out.
Oh, I'll pick you guys up in like 3 nights.
Wait, what? I
I'll
thought we were
check
just going
in.
tonight.
No, you're going tonight. I'm picking you up and bringing you back here too.
In 3 nights.
Like, you think you can get done sooner?
I figured we would just go in tonight and then we were coming back.
He starts to raspy laugh again, but this time it's like a low chuckle in his throat. No, you're there until you do it or you don't.
Okay. How do we tell you when we're done?
I'll drop you off, and where I drop you off at, let's just say it's one of my usual passing points. If I see you guys there, I'll stop. If not, and something happens, well,
Gotcha.
What's a number to you? Not like a number to call you at, but like what's it worth to you if I give you a number?
What you want me? You want me to pay you for your telephone number?
I want you to consider my privacy and my security attached to this number.
Jules will take out 2 cigarettes. How's 2 cigarettes?
He leans over and looks to see how many you have in your pack. Meanwhile, Peter, you know his pack is probably still the same one that he handed you before. It's just as crumpled and crinkled, and the cigarettes were just as busted. Which tells you he probably is not much of a smoker.
Yeah. Well,
make it 3.
Okay, 3. Okay. She'll take out the 3rd one and then offer it to him.
Okay. He picks up the 3 cigarettes, holds them over to Peter. Put those in the glove box for me, please.
All right.
Peter, when you open the glove box, there's a carton of cigarettes in there. Not just a pack, but a literal carton of untouched cigarettes. And you just lay them inside and close it back up.
Jules sees him and then frenzies to get the cigarette. No, that doesn't happen.
He leans out the window and offers you a business card. Looks pretty banged up.
She'll take it and look it over. What does it say? Just Smokey?
Smokey's Meat House.
Gotcha.
It has a local phone number on it. You imagine it's actually probably the phone number to the business.
Gotcha. And then, hold on for one moment. And then, she'll show, Frank, and then she'll put it in her pocket, in her, I guess, like with her cigarettes, like into like the little cellophane pack on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
like where that is.
Okay, to keep it. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
With
Well,
that,
she does have her purse, so she'll just put them in her purse.
with that, he goes to open the door, waiting for you two to step back. What happened to the others?
Oh, the doctor is down under, and
You see Smokey like visibly shudder when you say that.
and
I'll go get him.
yeah.
Thanks.
Out of character, I don't know what Hank is doing.
Hank, you noticed, was not there when you woke up. And as is tradition, the gardener waits for each of you to wake, it seems, in the morning, and then goes about either their business or addressing you first. You imagine that Hank may be somewhere still on premises, possibly with the gardener.
Nope, I needed a midday snack.
Monomancy, it's begun.
I'll wander down and go looking for wherever. I remember seeing the dock at some point, so I'm going to go back to wherever I saw the dock.
I'll be in the library.
Okay, we'll walk into the library. Doc. It's
Library.
time.
All right. I'll stand up and I'll follow you out.
We'll say this. You do notice that the gardener is nowhere to be seen within the library, within the sleeping chamber. And you pass a couple of the garden offshoots on your way through that have the tiered planters, and you don't see them in there either. They did not ask you to check in, however.
We'll wander back out to the van.
All right. Oscar, do you follow him up?
Yes.
Okay. The two of you make your way above ground, and you notice that Smokey is standing towards the back of the wagon with the back end rolled up, waiting for you guys to go ahead and get in. And he seems to be calling around to Peter at the front. Hey, you want to sit back here or you want to stay up there?
Suppose about meet him.
Well, you're going to have plenty of time for that, but it's up to you.
No, I'll come around.
Okay. He'll trade off with you, close the passenger door after you, and like pull a bag that you didn't see previously, which was tucked behind the two seats, and put it back on the seat you were sitting on. Very similar to how you saw the setup at the first time you were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he offers you the rest of the pack of cigarettes that he had shared with you prior. I'm not going to wish you luck. You don't need it. You're capable.
No.
You're standing here.
No, we got it done.
Keep an eye on them.
I'll try.
He gives you a pat on the shoulder. With that, please describe your character for the others.
So he's 6'2", quite stocky, fairly imposing, heavy facial scarring, quite an intimidating kind of looking individual. One that doesn't really take a lot of shit from the appearance and the gait. He's 30. How old is he? 30 something. 30 something, mid 30s. but appears to be older. A bit tired and torn with life.
Is he a looker?
Nah, he's
Absolutely.
ugly.
You have to do the right emphasis. Ugly.
Ugly.
Peter, before you see Jules. If Jules would like to introduce herself, though we could take a moment. Or Oscar.
Jules is 5'7", long black hair, angular facial features, very pale, and there's a lot of black, and with jeans and like tennis shoes, have been very very 60s. But she usually wears her hair down and flowing. And yeah. And has a Cajun accent almost. Like a little bit of a Cajun accent, but I can't do it, of course.
Oscar's a bit meek looking. He's about 5'8", 5'10". Dark curly hair, big nose, slightly smaller ears now. He's dressed in what was it, a corduroy vest that has a blood stain on it, and trousers that are a little too big for him. But he has a belt.
Yep. But the shoes fit nicely.
The shoes are a good fit. They're sneakers. He has a book of herbology that he may have taken with him by accident and doesn't want to go back inside by himself.
So Frank is a monster of a man. He's like 6.5 foot tall, mostly muscle. He's late 50s. His face is a mask of lines. It's weathered. His big hands are calloused. He's obviously been a working man. He is probably wearing a very dirty sort of checked shirt and like hard wearing but old jeans and boots. He has a hammer hanging from a loop on his belt. And he's wearing a wedding ring that's he's obviously been wearing for such a long time that it's sort of become part of his finger. And he's grumpy. He's just got a grumpy look on his face.
Cool.
He'll nod at you as he gets in the van. Like upwards nod.
That well-known signal of
Smokey makes his way back around, watches your introductions to one another, ushers you into the back of the van, and rolls it back down before you hear the lock in place. He quickly makes his way to the driver's side and starts to pull out of the drive, though you can tell he's not using the lights this time. He finds his path, turns them off, and makes his way back towards the main road, taking it down towards Laplace. On the dashboard, you see that the time is currently around 10 p.m. He opens the grate that he spoke through before So I'm gonna take you to the edge of town and just kind of unceremoniously drop you off on a corner. Not too far out.
Can you point us in the direction of wherever this new build place is?
Oh, uh, yeah, I could. Give me just a minute. And as
Figure.
he's,
Sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I figure if we're intended to be out for a while, we're going to need a place to crash.
Good idea. You know what? Why don't I do you one better? I'll take 10 a bit further west and take one of the dirt roads off of it, which loops around to the back of the building area. It's a nice open space that they've leveled out in anticipation for a bunch of yuppies moving in.
Okay.
They've got like 4 or 5 finished houses right now. I don't know if they're sold or not. Probably not. They're probably using them to show. Uh, I don't know if they have basements.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, you trundle along on 10 for a bit. He makes a sharp left-hand turn across not just the lanes he's on, the median as well, which is a bunch of bumpy dips in the grass, over the oncoming lane and into a dirt path that has not been particularly worn down. He drives for a bit until he comes to a stop, and you notice that there are dark outlines of buildings and partial buildings, which almost looks like ruins in the distance against the light of the nightlife for Laplace. Those of you who are able to see in the dark as he rolls at the back of the van can see that there have been areas out here which have been leveled and graded. A couple of them have concrete slabs already poured. But in the distance towards where you see a road which has been paved coming up towards you, there are about, he was off in his count, 6 or 7 completed homes at this point. Others very close to the same progress. And those are the ones closest to the entrance to what's going to be this community. All right.
Jules will shrug because she can't see anything far out. So is this it, Smokey?
Oh, somebody's gonna have to help the lady for a bit. Yeah, this is it.
And me.
You're not missing much in a minute.
Is this where we're getting out?
You know what? Here, don't say I never did nothing for you. And before you guys are able to actually get out, Jules, I imagine you're close to the exit. He gently puts a hand on your shoulder and keeps you like seated. Give me a minute. I'm gonna move us. And he turns the vehicle to where the lights will illuminate down the road. That way, if anybody sees the vehicle, all they'll see is the headlights from where he's stationed, but the rest of you can see down the road in some of the build sites.
She'll take out 2 more cigarettes. Thank you. And then offer it to him.
You're welcome. He accepts them. Hey, and he seems to be trying to get Frank's attention.
Yeah.
I didn't mean anything about it earlier. A lot of the other ones like us you're gonna deal with if you try to infiltrate. are going to work in bargains all the time. It's a habit of working both sides.
Right. Okay. I get why you were doing what you were doing then.
Yeah.
That's fucking annoying, but okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
So we're just gonna
No
have
problem.
to barter.
Just so you know, Laplace has a couple of our own. I'm not going to particularly point them out to you. I want to see how you handle it. But this is a jumping off point for us, and people don't really know it outside of our own.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
also why we have a heads up about Alice.
Okay.
Do you have any more info on Alice, where she was seen last, who she's been speaking to?
Yeah. Like an ice cream shop or something. I don't know.
The Fro Stop. Well, they like to call it the Fro Stop, the Frost Top.
Snow cones.
It's a
Snow cones.
Oh, close. It's a drive-in diner. They have an interior, and then they've got the pull-up area outside too. It's like one of the first places you actually hit coming off the main road when you go for Laplace. If she's not there, you could check the raceway. Very popular. If she's hungry, she might be picking people off there. There's also the cockfighting ring that has the bar they recently added to it. Callie's a popular restaurant and bar, and on the back they've got a really small, dingy hotel that has about 12 rooms. If she's avoiding the main area, there is a plant that's in the process of being finished down by the waterway. It's like
Okay.
DuPont Chemical Works or something on the Mississippi.
And we meet you here in 3 days?
I can't make this stop every night. They're gonna start thinking somebody's out here.
No.
Okay. Right.
So planning is we meet you here in 3 days, unless we call you to make another arrangement, right? And we're only going to call you if we're done.
I'm good with that.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds good. See you, Smokey.
If you have a problem, if you have a real problem,
Fix it. Yeah, I know.
well, yeah, but once you fixed it, call me.
We'll try not to have any problems.
All right. With that, he rolls down the back and latches it. I'll sit here long enough. You guys can make it down the road. And he's
Okay.
true to his word. He idles in the vehicle with the lights on long enough for you to make it to one of the homes.
Doc,
Yes.
I don't know what you want to do, but I suggest we set up a forward operation base. And we probably don't want to set up in one of the houses that are all built. We want to set up somewhere they're not showing people. Somewhere with a basement if we can get it.
I know you're not from the area. They don't really build basements here. A lot of problem with the flooding.
Well,
But
okay.
that aside, I don't know how secure a unfinished building would be either if there were workers coming around and that sort of thing.
Well, my thought was basement. We can secure the basement so they can't get in. If basement's not an option, we'll have to improvise.
They have an attic.
What day is it?
Yeah, attic could work.
What day is it? Do we know?
Peter, you know it is. I'm gonna check real quick. I believe it's Thursday.
I'm retired. It's all one day.
Actually, due to my new information, these are all mobile homes, and they do not have attics nor basements.
These are mobile homes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought they were built homes. Okay.
Let me clarify real quick. Laplace locals would know Laplace has several RV and trailer parks, which are hot real estate recently. And this is one of the first official like vertical built home communities for Laplace starting to build out. There are some actual houses, like built houses in town, a little bit closer as well.
So, do you mean this is like a subdivision area?
Yes, this is going to be like a subdivision.
Okay. So these
I
are
didn't-
normal built houses. They're just all uniform,
Right.
type houses.
Attic could work. Let's do attic.
Sorry
It's
for the miscommunication.
Tuesday for you guys.
So I knock on the door and say hello, and then have him let me in? Or do we want to break in? She says as she's walking down the road.
The less attention we draw, the better.
Well, these places should be empty, right?
As you say, the less attention we draw, the better. You hear the radio starting to turn up behind you from the meat wagon. Not enough that it would draw a lot of attention, but enough that it's loud for you guys.
Doc.
You
pick
hear "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow" playing.
We're going to take the furthest one from the entrance, the most recently completed one.
Cool. Let's head there.
All right.
We're gonna need to find some form of light because I can't see shit.
You too.
I'll guide us there.
Yeah, but once the car's gone, like I'm blind.
She'll take out, Jules will take out her lighter. Well, I got this.
It's good, but it's not gonna last forever.
True.
We all frenzy at the sight of fire.
You were warned about fire. The small amounts of it with the gardener have not posed a problem yet.
All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna shoot off ahead and have a quick recce around towards sort of the furthest point away from the entrance for a completed house.
Sounds
Okay.
good, Pete.
You dash up about 6 house sites ahead, so 12 total, 6 on each side, to the most recent completed home. You notice that power line has not yet been run to it, but there is a generator outside. The power line, sorry, let me say this better. The power line has been run down the street, but not connected to the house directly yet. You see that there are meters on it. You see that there's a water meter in place. You see that most of the homes nearby are past drywall. They have roofs on them. They're probably in the process of getting like appliances and stuff added. This one is complete. It looks like there are locks on it. The windows are shut. You test a couple of them there. You find one that is open, probably left by careless trade. And when you open it, there is the scent of recently finished paint. So, like, it's still drying inside. So, you know, this was probably painted today, if not this week.
Is it complete, or is there still stuff to do?
There's no furniture inside, so no one's moved in yet. But from the prospect of purchasing a home, it looks complete.
Okay.
Cabinets,
Yeah.
tops, all that in.
But if it's just been painted, they're not going to be showing that, are they? because they're going to want that
I
smell
do
of
know
paint to go away before they show the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I come back with the information. Furthest one looks favourite. It looks pretty done. Less likely for anyone to be coming back in to fix anything. I think we should be gold in there for a day or two.
You can see Pete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you not see?
No.
All right.
Cool. Let's head in there. We'll get in, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next.
Okay.
Do we
Do
want
you want to
to?
hold on to me? I'll lead you.
I'll hold on
What
to
about
you,
you,
Doc.
little lady? Can you see?
No, I can't see. I need someone.
Doc, can you see?
Yes.
Okay. This way then.
Jules will like take a hold, like kind of like take a hold of the Doc's shirt. Lead
I thought you were
on.
gonna say you grabbed my hair, and I was like, "We're not there yet. Don't do that."
Yeah,
Let me
she'll
do it
take his
first.
yank it back.
Goodness gracious.
Lead.
She already climbed you though, like a spider monkey. To be fair and combat.
She almost crushed me too.
She's like really thin. She's really tiny, so that was kind of
Oh
funny.
well, in that case, I'll walk up. I'll sweep Jules up off of her feet, hold on to with one arm, and place my other hand on Pete's shoulder. That way, she hasn't even got to walk. I can just let Pete guide me in the direction. She can sit up on my shoulder, and it's all good.
She's happy with that. Jules, at first she'd be like, "Oh," and like surprised, and then like, "Oh, okay," and she'll just flow with it. I'm like a parrot.
It doesn't look like we've got active power, but there is a Jenny.
We're going to need to sort out some lights.
You hear Sugar Sugar playing in the distance behind you as you start to make your way forward.
Honey, honey. You are my candy girl.
And
Got me wanting you.
what am I doing?
We'll make our way down to the house.
Jules, even though she doesn't see anything or can't see anything, is like kind of still looking around, bobbing her head to the music.
As your group seems to have determined their header, the lights turn from high beams to dim, and then eventually turn off, and you hear the vehicle withdrawing. You're now left in the dark with your two companions to guide you to the house. You make quick work of it. It's not particularly far away, about 5 minutes at a normal pace, and given that you no longer have to keep normal paces, it's fairly quicker. Peter, you take them around to the window, which you found was open, and I imagine you left it as such.
Yeah, I'll jump in through and I'll open the front door. Easing all, climbing through the window. Is it still pitch black?
It is pitch black inside, yes. I'll say this. You can make out the outline of the building, even those of you who cannot see in the dark, as well as outline of things inside most of the rooms, but these are east to southeast facing rooms because there's light coming in through the window. So it's basically like the back of the house, lights coming in from the city face.
Is it like a site office or a site yard or something? Or like building materials and things are?
Building materials were per lot, so like moving past those lots where they were working, you noticed that some things were actually just left out on the ground or in the open garages.
But there's no like site office where the foreman would be and like equipment and stuff might be stored.
No, where the equipment maybe was stored. You think that's probably a unit inside town. But there was a portable building, so like a mobile building that looks like it had been placed near the entrance for this community, probably serving as a temporary office. And that was up there behind one of the originally finished homes when you turn in. So it's kind of off to the side behind some lines of shrubs to obscure it from potential buyers.
Mm-hmm. All right. If you guys want to have a look round, make yourself comfortable. I'm going to pop down and see if there's anything we can use in the little office back there. So if we can find some torches or something so you guys can see.
Lights are good. If you can find like excess lumber or fixings of some description we can use to secure the place, that would be great. But lights is like main priority because I'm going to be useless until I can see.
There's some shit lying around in the garages. If you want to use that, I'll see what I can find.
Pete, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Are you new to this like we are?
Reasonably. I've been about a little bit, not that long.
Okay. You know Smokey?
Yeah.
How well do you know Smokey?
Enough for him to give me a lift.
Can we trust him?
We can trust him enough to give us a lift.
Okay, cool.
As far as I know. He's not done me wrong yet. He seems like a nice guy. But we'll see.
I'm guessing.
Right, good. I'll be back. Go on.
I'm guessing Jules is not on his shoulder anymore.
No, he'll put her down when we get into the
Okay.
house, unless she particularly wants to stay there.
No, she'll like be. That would be funny, but no. She'll like kind of filling around. Like, is it the place furnished at all?
No, there are no furnishings in here. You've got appliances, which you imagine are hooked up but not powered, present. If you test the sinks, there's running water, but it's all cold water. There are countertops, cabinets, and when you go into other rooms, there's fixtures like lighting fixtures. The bathroom has been fully installed for tub, toilet, shower head, all of that. But you don't have any chairs or beds or anything like that. This is a single story. Walking around it, you think it's probably a 3 bed, 2 bath. And it's got a open like living room with a long kitchen island. And the only thing dividing the living room from the kitchen is a seating area, another countertop that comes out in an L from one of the main walls. It's a pretty open layout for the most part. You do find 2 relatively large closets in 2 of the bedrooms. Another one does not. Like, the third one does not have a closet, but you imagine that's probably intended for guests or kids. Looking around and checking out, because Oscar did mention the potential for an attic, there is an attic access. It's a pull-down ladder.
Cool. Right.
She'll fur away to that the island and then just plop her, like jump up on it, and then okay, we'll wait until you get some lights, so we're not useless.
While Pete's away,
Mhm.
Frank will also plop himself down on the floor. Where are you, Doc? Doc, where are you?
Sorry. You're gonna hear a cabinet shut, and I'll step around.
What's the plan?
We'll see if we can find a way for you guys to navigate the dark. And then we'll probably see about making our way over there.
When you say over there, where's our first port of call?
The first stop.
And when we get there, what's the plan? Are we just going to grab her and go, or what?
We're not going to cause a scene.
So we're what?
We're going to just look around, see if we see
Intel.
her. Yeah.
Okay.
Jules, meantime, has taken out her lighter, is just flicking it and closing it, but not lighting it at all. So you just hear that clink, clink, clink.
All right, Peter, you come up to the portable unit.
The portable unit?
Yeah, portable unit, mobile home.
Oh, portable, not portal unit. Okay.
Yeah. Not
That'd
portalette.
be really useful.
Not portalette.
Yeah.
Steps through the portal, ends up in the Bahamas at midday.
At midday. Luckily, he landed in the shade of a tree for all of 2 seconds.
And then died anyway.
Yep. You make your way over to the mobile unit. Moving to the door, you notice that this is very haphazardly placed, as well as like shimmed up in comparison to the construction that you passed on your way over here. The building itself looks like it's maybe a couple years old and has been moved out here after a previous move, so you can tell they have additional supports underneath it. Moving up towards the door, you can tell that the main connective area for what would be the two halves of this building has seen some stress and is starting to try and pull apart, but has no visible crack within it yet. The steps up are probably field made. They look like somebody who was a builder out here in 5 minutes slapped together steps that would reach the door.
Is there any windows or just a door to it?
There's 2 windows on the front and 2 windows on the back. It looks like this is a converted living unit to offices instead.
Any of them open?
None of the windows are open, but if you try the front door, it's locked, but the lock feels very flimsy.
Yeah, I'll see if I can give it a jiggle.
Okay.
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Do you have any points in larceny?
I do not.
How do you
I
want
do
to try
have
and...
size 12 lock picking boots, though.
I was going to say. That's what I was
So-
going to use.
Are we jiggling the door or are we kicking the door?
We'll
Jiggling
jiggle
the
it.
door with my foot.
Yeah,
With extreme prejudice.
yeah. Yeah, pretty
Fair.
much, yeah. Okay, I'll just kick it in. Why not?
Give me a strength brawl.
So how do I do that? Do I just click on brawl and add strength?
Just click on brawl, and select strength. Oh yeah. You easily kick this door in. The facing of the door actually bends in a little near where your foot planted into it, and you watch as the lock itself breaks out of the other side and carries open the swing with it. So you just took the mechanism out of the wall.
It wouldn't
That's-
actually be the first time we're doing that.
Inside, lights are out. But that doesn't particularly phase you. You see a desk to the right, which is covered in large, like plotting size paper sheets. There's a pencil, a protractor, as well as a level ruler on it. To the left-hand side, you notice that there are a multitude of filing cabinets, tall ones, which reach probably 4 spaces high for what you think would be 8.5 by 11 folders. This whole front area has a dividing wall, and there are 2 hallways, one to the left and one to the right. They're open. There's no door to those hallways.
Okay. Let's check the drawers of the desk if the desk does indeed have drawers. See if there's anything useful lying around, any torches or anything like that.
Top 2 drawers, like the middle one has a bunch of pens, pencils, erasers, scissors, staplers, like general office supplies in it. You open the top right drawer and there's a bunch of like leftover sauce packets and things that haven't been used or opened yet, but like mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, hot sauce. There's a hot sauce bottle in there that's sealed. There's salt and pepper packets. There's plastic silverware in there as well. You rummage around on the left-hand side and you see that there are a couple of keys on a ring. There is, in the drawer below that, several more keys, and these are on individual rings with numbers, like number tags on them.
Did I manage to catch the number of the house that we were in?
You caught. So what I can tell you right now
6 or
is the
12.
number on the tag does not match the number of the house.
Okay.
You think these are probably numbered by site, like actual site location for plans?
Yeah. Can I see anything on the plans that would correspond to the plot we're on?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an investigation and intelligence to kind of orientate yourself versus where this, because you're looking at the entire layout of what's going to be the community. Oh, easily. You find where the road is leading in, you find where the highway behind where you got dropped off from by Smokey is, and triangulating where you're supposed to be, your Unit 7.
Okay. Is there a key for Unit 7?
There is.
I shall grab that. I shall also grab a few pens, stuff those in my pocket, because you never know when you need a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Also some plastic cutlery, because again, super useful. And I don't think I'm going to need the keys for the office, so we'll probably ignore that. Anything else in the drawer or in the desk?
If you would like to give it a more thorough look rather than just kind of like shuffling things left and right, please give me another investigation and intelligence. You've given it a once over, and then you decide to probably check where you might hide things. You check underneath the large calendar on top of the desk. You check under what seems to be a organizer inside one of the drawers and kind of up between where the pieces divide underneath it, and you find $20 total
Nice.
between the two places.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to move down the hallway and see what else is in the divided section.
Okay. On the right hand side, you see 4 doors. There's one directly at the back, one to your right, and 2 on your left on the interior. And they look like probably office doors.
Going to work my way through. Are they locked or are they just internal doors?
Most of them are just internal doors.
Most of them.
So your first 2 interior offices on the left-hand side, open easily. And you notice that one of them is a very tidy individual. The next person is their desk is a complete mess, but when you look at the filing system, their files are miraculously spectacular in their organization. It's like their process for work is probably really messy, but when they finish something, they make sure it's well taken care of. Moving to the door on the right, as you make your way down the hall, you open it and there is a bathroom inside. Just a toilet and a sink. Very simple. The far back office is locked.
Okay. That was all there is. So there's the 2 offices, the bathroom, and the one at the back.
On the right-hand side, and when you look to the hall on the left, it's mirrored.
Okay.
These are very small offices. Like, this interior of this building is fairly small.
I'm going to go to the messy worker one
Mhm.
and have a look through the desk on there, see if there's anything useful like torches or anything. Basically, that's kind of what I'm looking for, is some form of useful items that will be beneficial for us.
Uh,
Do you want another roll?
yes, please. Same as before, investigation intelligence. You're looking through, and it is just chaos and mayhem on this desk. There's stacks of papers, and inside the stacks of papers, you find various notepads and various states of used and disuse. Nothing has been completed that's on the desk whatsoever, and when you move something, you knock over what you thought was an empty cup and spill old coffee all over the main project. It reminds you of one of your coworkers back at the office, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Okay.
Great guy, very nice. Awful workspace.
But still very capable.
Yes. Nobody ever wants to share the other desk with him. The spilled drink is not uncommon.
Okay. Okie dokie. In the main office at the very start, the couple of keys on a ring.
Yep.
And see if they fit the locked doors on the far side.
You go through several of them at a time until you find the right one and the door opens. This looks like it's probably site manager office. It's well taken care of. There is a building recognition placard for a certificate. There are several hall filing cabinets on the left-hand side when you enter. You only notice them after you close the door because they're actually hidden by the door when it opens. There's a nice swivel chair behind the desk. And there is a phone inside as well, actually.
What's on the desk? Anything of note?
A small calculator, like personal calculator, pens, pencils in nice organized cups. There's a name plaque, like self-raised name plaque. And then you notice that there's scissors and another one of those leveling rulers as well in here. You don't see anything too out of place on the desk, and most of it looks like it is carefully tidied up and put where it belongs.
As it should be. I'm gonna have a look through, cursory look through drawers and things for anything useful. I'm presuming the filing cabinets again are plans and folders and shit in.
You're going through?
Yeah.
The first 3 out of 4 are all files. When you get down to the bottom of each, they're locked.
Okay. The drawers in the desk. Is there any drawers in the desk?
Yes, and they are open as well as a hutch is on the desk.
A what?
A hutch. It's like a top piece, which has
Oh, right.
additional storage space.
Ah, I get you. Cool. Any keys in there?
Yes, actually, you do find several keys. They're pretty obvious. They're not locked away or hidden themselves. It's in the first drawer you open top.
Okay. They look
Testing
like
them
they're
on the filing cabinet, they pop open. Inside, you find a. Let me double check really quick. Don't want to tell you wrong. There's a large, chunky style flashlight in one of them, as well as some batteries for it, like replacement batteries. And then in the other bottom drawer, because there are two cabinets, you find a lunch pail. Looks like it got left here.
Okay, so torch is coming along with the batteries.
Mhm.
Has it got batteries in it already?
Yes.
And it works.
So if you test it, it turns on, yeah.
Okay, I'll take the batteries as well. Anything else of note in here?
Probably some stuff you could pawn.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Okay. I would like to point out that the $20 you found is the equivalent of like 200 current from like 1960 to present. So that's a lot of money
Cool.
that you found.
Groovy.
Someone's losing
Okay.
their job.
Hmm?
I said someone's losing their job.
Right, I try and return the place to as reasonable a state as when I found it, apart from obviously the front door.
Okay.
Make my way back to the house
Mhm.
and offer up my findings.
The rest of you, in the meantime, you've been discussing your plan for approach. Are there any additional items you want to add to heading to the frost top?
Although what? Sorry.
You've been discussing your plans of action while Peter was out checking the nearby office for you. Were there any further details you wanted to add to that?
Can I make a estimated guess as to how far uh, it actually is from this development that we're at?
You're at least 5 miles from probably the frost top to outside of what you think is city limit, built up town.
Anyone? I mean, they can't see me stare at them anyway. Anyone? I'm going to stare at Jules. Anyone good at maybe stealing cars?
I was thinking about maybe that might be a good idea to like get a car.
I can drive.
I can as well.
As she says, clicking and opening, closing the lighter, the Zippo.
It's like the person who clicks the pin on repeat.
At least she's not smoking inside with the paint smell.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna smell like paint for sure.
Gotcha. What do you think of this Pete guy? Click, click, click.
You asking? Are you two just talking?
She's asking anyone that can hear, and because she can't see shit.
I'm sure
It seems
they're
okay.
no worse than Hank and Frank.
Hey,
Okay, sorry. No worse than Hank.
yeah, it's better.
You hear a noise at the window as it shoves open abruptly, and the torch is placed lit on the windowsill. Light
Now-
suddenly flooding into the room.
I've been meaning to ask. Back at the gardener's estate, I imagine that these were like medieval torches. Is this like a
So
torch
what I
torch
wanna-
or like
the torch UK term for flashlight. So what I want to point out is the gardener had medieval torch like hanging spots and had lit flashlights sitting inside of them facing up.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
can call them flashlights, but you know what you mean.
Okay.
yeah, we know what flashlights are.
I unfortunately will adapt to whatever I heard last, probably. So I'll go
No,
between the two.
That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair.
But no, they had flashlights. Actually, they didn't have burning torches. They had
Oh.
flashlights.
Okay, all
The
this.
only items that had like flame in them were the controlled lanterns.
Gotcha. Now that makes more sense. Okay, I just figured that like they're a Semichi, so of course they're gonna like
Underground
have,
cult
like, yeah.
aesthetic.
I finally realised that I would have half-inched a flashlight.
That's my bad.
Well, like I know of like shop torches are called torches, but not like flashlights. So I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe they're talking about like some overhead torches, like
You know what?
or
That's it. You're gonna go back and there's going to
Headlight.
be like a candle, like a oh god,
head.
a chandelier of actual just lit torches. Not
Yeah.
flashlights, just lit torches.
That's
now
what-
hanging inside the sleeping area.
Yeah, that's why I was like this is so dangerous. Like
There's so much fire.
yeah.
Carbon monoxide.
You're gonna wake up all like pale and clammy and cold in the morning because of the carbon monoxide. Oh, hang on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jules will plop off the table and then go and grab the flashlight.
Nice work.
Cheers. Not much in there. Got some cash.
Oh,
Did get the key too.
Got the key.
Let's check the attic.
Let's do it.
The attic has open insulation bats in it. So, like, there's open fiberglass rolls in there on the sides, but you imagine if you found probably a couple planks of wood, you could lay them down and easily lay on the unfinished floor area of the attic. It's
Okay.
just connecting boards.
How many lights did you find?
Which one?
Okay. Do you think there's likely to be more lights on this site?
No.
Okay, we'll have to work with what we got. We're going to need to find some materials to give us some way of being able to sleep, to rest up here.
Saw some stuff in the garages nearby. Some planks of wood and shit.
I don't want to. You being able to see in the dark means it probably makes sense if I give you a list, if you go looking for the things, and then I can work on it when you get it back.
Have a pen.
Thanks. I'll look around for something to write on, and then I'll grab his hand.
You did notice that there were scraps of paper, like
Oh, that's fine.
leftover
I'll make-
receipts and stuff.
I'll make a note of some basic materials to go looking for fixings. Like basically, nails and wood is essentially what we're looking for. Nails and planks.
We could also attempt to buy like another flashlight, maybe in town. We still have a few dollars left over.
If
Yeah,
you've got the time.
I found $20 in the office as well, so if that's useful.
It's loaded. Absolutely loaded.
Make it rain, motherfucker!
As you slap one bill.
Yeah. Oh,
Just a shower.
yeah.
I'll be right
Cool.
back.
Okay.
Do carry on. I'm listening.
I can go and have a look for the
Beautiful
materials now if you want me to, or we can do that when we come back.
Might be good. Oh, is the trailer like is it like off the ground, like or is it like with like the
Yeah, it was
awning?
up on supports.
Gotcha, but it's got the awning. You know,
Yeah.
It might be a
It's
good
got the
idea.
skirt around it, if that's what you mean.
You got the skirt. You know, it might be a good idea to like make a little hidey hole, like underneath. What do you think?
Or for hiding shit, or
Well, hiding us.
how good is that going to be at keeping light out?
Well, the skirt, like, is doesn't it work like that? Or like sun doesn't get into the skirt, like we crawl and like put something over it, and then we can sleep like underneath. That way, you know, we're not out in the open.
That is a fair option, and possibly safer is not exactly the right word. I understand what you're saying. It depends on like how do we think someone's going to come to this house versus somewhere discreet like that.
It's also, do you think the attic could support your weights depending on what you find to put up there? Because, hear me out, like, it's got a beam structure, it's supportive, but if you dip in between, you might sag in a ceiling or something.
Just a thought, you know.
In the same way, if we expect rain or something like that, though, it's not going to be a very pleasant place to be under their trailer.
But of course, we're just
We
gonna
don't
be
have
here.
to stay here.
Yeah, it's just gonna be 3 days, right?
Well, not necessarily. We can maybe find somewhere in town.
The boys that seem gallivant on commandeering someone's home.
We could certainly borrow something. I mean, our needs are great, are they not?
Fair.
But at least we've got this for the minute. We've got access. It's reasonably secure. We can make it secure.
We have somewhere to come back to.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum.
So what's the plan? Do we have a plan while I was out?
Yes, we're going to go do. You remember that word that he used? That S word. That military talk. Jules.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. We're gonna go do surveillance.
Surveillance. Oh yeah, no, I'll get that. Yeah, cool. We can do surveillance.
Frank keeps trying to push Oscar to do like leadership things, and you know, he has this very military mindset. But Oscar's just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna go look for her.
It was an R word, Rico.
Reconnaissance.
There we go.
Out of character. I know what the word is.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, we could do that.
The voice in our head from the gardener shouts at us.
Just the echoey voice from the mouth that doesn't move.
Just starting to sigh. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I let them go out too soon. And also, maybe we can find a car.
Yeah.
It would be useful to be able to get about. I mean, I've dealt with car thieves in the past, but I'm not particularly good at it. Does anyone can do that?
We believe Jules can.
Okay.
What?
Or perhaps we could just ask very nicely if we could borrow someone's car.
That's what I was gonna do. Is just like ask them. If that fails, just kill them. Then
I
I'm
can
not
work
trying to
too.
cause a scene, to be fair.
well, only that's the last resort. Because remember, we did our test, and my thing was I could like make people do things. So, what can you do, Pete?
What can I do? Well, I can see in the dark.
That's
Pretty tough.
That's pretty. Oh, you're
Um,
pretty tough too. Okay, awesome.
And I quite like animals. Pretty good with that.
Look, it's the 1960s. I don't judge.
Not that kind of like.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, maybe. No,
Or
not
Frank.
that kind of like.
Welcome back.
Frank's face, the turn of conversation.
I think your idea about climbing under the units is a great one. We're much less likely to be interfered with there. And if it
So-
rains, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when we go to sleep, it's like no time passes.
Also, Jules has the she's not shining the light like at Frank's face. She's like shining it up in the air. That way, the light goes all around everybody.
Blooms.
Yeah.
If you guys want, I could start setting up somewhere for us to crash under the unit. If you guys want to go and acquire us a car.
Yeah. Well, it's 5 miles away. How long exactly it take us? An hour and a bit to get there.
I'm going to need the light.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
She'll
We could
hand
we
over
could
the
always
light.
also just flag someone down on the highway. Take it from there.
Sounds
You
don't
like
have to go all
aren't
the way
very
into town.
far from the highway, from what you recall. You're probably closer to the highway than to town right now, with how far Smokey had to drive you.
Right, I'll go and get some of this stuff Frank wants, and we'll be back. and
Well,
we'll go.
I mean, don't worry about that, because if we're building a temporary rest stop under the unit where we're less likely to get interfered with, we won't need the same materials. So, what I suggest, and he'll look at Oscar while he's when he says this. What I suggest is if you leave me here to set stuff up, and you guys go and get some wheels, maybe some more flashlights, we should be good at that point. And then we can all get together and go out and do some recon.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
That's the
It's up
word
to
he
you.
used. That's the word.
That is
Oh.
the word.
We were trying to remember the word that you used.
Oh, yeah, no, I was here. I wasn't paying any attention to you.
Sure, we'll get the wheels then.
I just wasn't paying attention.
She'll turn around and roll her eyes. And then walk over to the door and open it and wait for everyone else.
So if I grab the light, then I can go around the site looking for what I need to, and then I can just excavate out an area, get materials that we need in order to make it light proof, and then you guys can go and find a car.
Sounds like fun.
All right,
Sounds-
so we have Frank doing material and construction
Yeah.
presently, and then the rest of the group going to get a car.
What I'll do, Toasty, is I'll just send you a message of what I'm trying to achieve, and then you can say yay or nay to it. rather than have to split your attention between two different groups.
Sounds good. I'll take a look at it when I get it.
Yep, no
I
problem.
might ask you to make a couple rolls just in case.
No problem, mate.
Alrighty. Sorry, hiccup. The group's splitting off. Are you heading down the road or are you heading towards the highway?
I think we'll head to the highway. We're more likely to find a car along the way.
Okay. I'm orientating myself really quick.
Sorry, I've just sent that and I didn't mean to. I'm going to edit it.
Well, let me stop recording real fast and then start it back up.
Alright, you guys would be heading up northwards towards Interstate 10, which is actually what you pulled off of. It's a bit of a trudge, fairly quiet for the evening. And you can see in the distance from the direction that you came from towards where the church and the gardener are, there is heat lightning jumping from cloud to cloud far off.
Jules will have one of her hands on like Pete's shoulder and maybe got in her.
Yeah, we're leading the way. I take it we can see vehicles traveling along the road. Yeah.
Yes, you can. It's not a high traffic evening, but they're close enough together that you think if you wait maybe 5-10 minutes, one will pass by.
Cool. That's actually more beneficial.
I'll pull out the old hitchhiker's thumb.
Might be better if the little lady does it.
Jules will giggle and then walk up to the road and stick out her thumb with the hitchhiker.
I'm going to sort of hide away from the edge of the road so I'm not too obvious.
Okay. How about Oscar? Oscar, you staying up there with her?
Yeah. He's not going to hide, but he's going to be a bit further back in the road.
I definitely want to turn on my all.
Okay. Jules, you're standing there. A couple minutes passes. A few more minutes passes. You're starting to get pretty impatient at this point, and then you see a pair of headlights fairly low to the ground speeding your way. And the moment that you come into view of this person, you're fairly certain, you hear the brakes start to squeal. And they pull to an abrupt stop right next to you.
She'll kind of smile and walk over to the driver's side window. Well, as she's walking, does she notice anyone in the passenger seat?
There is no one in the passenger seat. There is a younger gentleman who looks probably late teens, early 20s in the driver's seat. It seems like he is finishing a night out in Laplace and was probably headed home. Head of dark, short hair, thick, full mustache, sideburns trimmed neatly, and he has a folded down collar and a bright yellow patterned shirt with red swirls on it and red pants.
He
and
needs to die.
We're in the 60s. A lot of people are gonna die if that's the case. It's about a lot of people are gonna die. He leans out the window and smiles at you. How can I help you? By the way, this is a bright blue 64 Chevy.
Definitely gonna have to get this one.
Yeah, you got a truck.
Yeah. Oh, I just need a ride.
I can do that for you. Where are you headed?
She'll tell him the the Frost Stop or whatever.
Oh, back in La Paz? They're
Yeah.
open pretty late. They're probably still open.
Oh,
What's the
yeah.
matter? You get stood up?
Yeah, real bad.
Oh, that's a shame. I can't believe somebody as pretty as you would have to go through that.
I know.
Here, how about I buy you dinner?
Oh. Well, I am a little bit thirsty.
No, I'll get you a full meal.
I'm sure
No need to be shy.
you will. I wanna I wanna compel him. My friends wanna come too.
He looks a little confused for a moment, but he's completely just eyes only for you right now. Enraptured with you.
I'm gonna been slowly working my way, sort of stealthily round the car to the passenger side while this is going on.
Okay. Your friends, are they as pretty as you?
Well, no, but they're charming. Why don't you
Okay.
come here for a moment?
Like he's almost leaning out the window already to talk to you. He does. He just leans partially out the window.
Well, I need a feed, so I'm gonna feed.
Oh. Okay.
Well, wait, never mind. Hold on. She'll offer him a joint beforehand.
Oh, the one that you had earlier.
Yeah. Because, about her feeding thing.
Well, I don't know about that, miss. I don't usually do that kind of thing, but if you say it's all right, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody. It'll be our little secret.
Okay.
And she'll light it and offer it and take a puff and then offer it to him.
He does not break eye contact as he accepts and takes a puff as well.
Okay.
And tries to mimic what you do.
And after about, I guess, I don't know. I don't really smoke, so I don't know how fast it gets into his system. So I'm guessing when it is, that's when she'll feed on him.
It could take a little bit. So let me double check that for you. My search history is so interesting on BTM nights.
I just don't know how many puffs it takes.
You get something in your hands, Richard?
Daddy long legs.
Oh.
No, it's still about.
You don't have to kill it.
No, I wasn't going to kill it.
Everybody's worried about how long does it stay in your system. I'm like, how fast can you get high?
Yeah, If it was
3 or 4 minutes.
If
not,
it was
not very long.
Yeah, if it was
so
like
you would probably. There's time for Peter to do something. So Peter, you're working your way around the back of the vehicle. He's completely distracted with Jules right now, and you're able to reach the passenger side door, which has the window rolled down, but you can tell it is locked.
Yeah, I don't really want to impede what's going on at the minute, because if we can do this subtly, then great. If not, then I'm just gonna climb through the window and rip his head off or something. I don't know. What kind of car is it?
It's a 1964 blue Chevy, so it's a truck.
Truck. What?
It's like a C10.
Yeah, it's a C10.
Okay. So we've got like a bench seat in the front, so we can get 3 people in there. Okay. Have a look inside, see if there's anything obvious? Any like, I think there's a glove box.
Yes, there is a glove box in the front.
Obviously, I'm
Also,
not going to
there's
open it yet. But...
on the back window. Is there like a rifle or something? Is he one of those?
He is a good old boy.
Oh,
Good.
Yes, there is a rifle on the back window. In a rack.
Can I get a better look at him? His obviously we've got his clothing, but is there anything like noticeable? Is he like carrying firearm?
There's no noticeable firearm. In fact, you don't discern anything on his person. You see his wallet laying on the dashboard.
well, while that's going on, imagine Jules is like buttering him up and getting him ready. Then, when she thinks that he's good and high, that's when she'll feed on him.
Okay. Peter is able to discern that you can probably fit 3 people inside without a problem. There is a gun inside. You're not sure if there's ammunition or if it's loaded. There is a glove box, probably locked because it is shut. And the vehicle looks to be in good condition. It looks like he takes good care of it. So you imagine most things are going to be functioning on it. Jules, how much do you feed?
And this is the first time she's like really feeding.
Yeah,
Under
this is
supervision.
your first experience.
All of it.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's drain them all. I don't know if Jules will be able to stop. For like, this is the first time and no one's supervising.
I would like to also point out, you did have sanguine before.
Gotcha.
It is still roughly in your system, if I recall correct.
I think so. I can't remember what the sanguine means though.
Remember what happened to your previous character when you were unbelievably giddy and high?
Oh, okay. Well,
It felt really nice.
gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, with her feeding flaw, she is always gonna be a little giddy anyway.
True. This gentleman does not have the same effect as your previous feeding, but there is a different type of rush to it. There's the sense of urgency with how open of an area you're currently in. It's the enjoyment of the taste from your joint in his stream of blood. There's the live rush, the warmth. And there's a difference from the captive feeding that you had prior, where at any moment this individual, they're here because they want to be. They want to be here for you. They are completely enamored with you right now. You are their world. There is just so many variables. It's a power trip. It's an ego trip.
And she'll drain him, and then I imagine she can open the door now, and then just let the body just drop out.
Yep, and he just falls right out. Oscar, you can tell that this man has lost enough blood he will not be able to recover.
Wanna pop him in the back in the bed and dump it somewhere?
We could just throw him in the woods over here, I'm sure.
What's the wildlife like around here?
Okay.
Gators, deer, whitetail, fish.
Occasionally a wildcat, but pretty rare.
Maybe a black bear here and there.
Okay, yeah, I think we should chuck him in the woods.
She'll nod and she'll lick the wound. Out of character, I can't remember if we got taught that or not.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She'll lick the wound, and then drag the body. Like,
Wait. Sorry, before you like completely drag him across the cement and all, how is his shirt bloody?
No.
Did you check his pants, his wallet?
Oh, here.
What
She'll-
was here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
going
through
to
it,
need his
taking
shirt.
cash out on that.
Oh,
This
okay.
is going to draw attention.
Oh, okay. Here you go. She'll start stripping him.
Peter, the shirt's coming with you. The bright yellow, red swirled abomination.
It's okay.
Dabrise it.
With non-matching burgundy corduroy pants.
You need some new pants?
I mean, does it look better if I put on his red pants? He did have red pants, right?
Yes, bright red pants.
It's an easy way
Like-
to make those red pants brown pants.
Like Chris's microphone red.
Sexy.
Take it back. Sounds great.
Very loud.
Very loud.
Are they denim?
Mm. Close. They're
Velvet.
better than corduroy.
Anything's better than corduroy.
100% agree.
You bring enough for the class?
Digging nettles is better than corduroy.
You want to come over and eat pizza? You can come over here and eat pizza.
Hey.
I've started a diet today as well. The shake thing, so I can't even eat anything. I just sit there and eat. fucking
Jules will
pizza.
start taking off his shoes. Like, what about his shoes? You need a new pair of shoes?
What size are they?
She'll look. Here, try them on, and she'll throw them to you while she's taking off his pants.
They're like a 10. They're small for you.
They're a little big, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you're not talking about my actual shoe size, IRL.
Fair.
They're not
Oscar is a bit small.
27s.
And then as she throws you need a new underwear?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Taking off with this man.
And then she'll drag off the body. He's
Hey,
just in his
need
underwear.
new penis? Do you need some new ears? I've got some feet. Do you want some feet?
He's got some nice skin on his back.
Well,
And this is a podcast.
in this one book that they had there, though, I did learn that I can create a thing. It's a lot of work, though. I don't think we want to start right now, though.
Is there anything close by, like a ditch or a canal to just dump the body in?
There is one between the lanes.
Okay.
You know that Smokey crossed it to get you guys on the other side.
She'll drag it and then heave it in. And wait
Pretty
until
close to the main road. It'll probably get discovered not terribly long for now, but the grass has grown up enough. Give you some time.
yeah, dude, there's probably some loggerheads in there and everything, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine. She'll make sure to get close enough to the water to where it just you shouldn't
Be
have
free.
smoked the devil's lettuce.
It is a gateway drug.
Did you just say be free as she tossed him into the ditch?
I did.
Be free. Just like when they found the body, he's just in his underwear. So
Oh, so you let him keep some modesty.
yeah, well, she was just taking it she was starting to take off his underwear, but then he said no, he didn't need it, so she just stopped it. So it very well looks like but his underwear is down a little bit, so I don't know. It just looks like who knows? And also drugs are in the
Actually,
system.
He
The
was killed by a
beginning.
hooker.
No.
Not Jules.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand what you meant.
Yeah.
So who's going through his wallet?
I'll
Was
go
that-
through the wallet, yeah.
You'll go through. Peter will go through the wallet.
Yeah.
You see his ID card says Chase Smith, You gather from his date of birth that he was about 19.
Is there an address on there?
There is.
Not content with stealing his pants, all of his clothes, the contents of his wallet and his car and his life, you're also going to go back to his house, kill everyone that's in there and steal anything not nailed down.
Depends how far away it is.
Yeah, I love playing this about.
Any cash in there?
Yes. There
So
is.
I'm going to take his wallet because I don't have a wallet, and I'm going to put all the stuff in there.
Okay. So you have a combined total of $35 now.
Holy shit.
So he had 15. Yeah, he was expecting a good night out. It
No, he
looks
got a
like it
good night
didn't
out.
pay off before he met Jules, unfortunately.
Let's hope this stands as a lesson to all young people ever.
Yes, to
Don't
all our
accept the devil's
listeners.
lettuce from a random person on the side of the road.
Or don't be hitchhikers either.
The keys in the ignition, I take it.
Yep.
Can
It's
I
been
unlock
idling.
can you unlock the glove box with them?
Yeah, you can open it.
Anything in there?
It's got the manual and a copy of the registration.
Okay.
Anything behind the seat?
Behind the seat, you see that there is a box of ammunition for the rifle in the back window.
Tear off the door panels, anything behind that as well?
Well, no, it's just a common place to look whenever, like, you know.
Oscar is going to. He'll take the middle seat. He'll take the right seat. Doesn't matter. He's not driving right now unless someone wants him to. He's going to flip the switch for the AC and he's going to stare at it.
Just gonna stare at the switch for the AC.
Nope, he's going to stare at the AC.
Oh. It's nice and cool.
Yes.
Jules will get in the
Especially
middle.
compared to the current evening, which is very hot and muggy. The usual for those accustomed to Louisiana.
Isn't it June right now?
Yeah. It's June 16th for you guys, 1964.
So like a week ago.
Yep.
For reference, it's 95 degrees in Mississippi, but it has a real feel of 106 because it is so incredibly humid.
Yeah.
Historically, in June, the average temperature was between 85 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's still nothing. I'm still melting thinking about it.
Yep.
Right. So where's this frost stop thing then?
Yeah,
I
it's
will
32 Celsius for our UK friends.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Because they were just random numbers, and I was just
Sorry. Sorry. You mentioned it earlier, so I was like, oh, okay, but he must know.
I know
Jules will,
100's hot.
yeah, Jules will get in the middle, and then, like, you know.
We know what a flashlight is, but we don't know Fahrenheit, all right?
Okay, well, that's
We
fair.
know we know what Fahrenheit is in principle. We just don't understand what the conversion rates are between the two.
Well, it's the same with us with Celsius. So.
Of course it is. Yeah.
We can meet in the middle and both learn Kelvin.
Kelvin, yeah. Kelvin's fine. Do Kelvin.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's the scientific reading anyway.
I believe that's based on Celsius, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Or Celsius is based on Kelvin. I can't remember which way around it was. Cool. Yeah, I think once the body's been set free, we'll head off to the frost stop to go and do our reconnaissance, I think.
She'll return.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That was the deal, was it not?
No,
I
you go
thought-
get a car and then
Yeah.
come back and pick me up, and then we go together. But if
Yeah.
you want to go off and do the recon stuff and just leave me, that's fine. I'll just sit back and do set up the fob. It's no issue.
The
Well, there we
seven dwarves building over here.
Yeah, we'll go get him, I suppose.
If they're going to actually, Toasty, if they want to go off and do the recon thing, I'm going to build a fucking castle by the time they got back.
I'm fine with this.
Oh my god.
No, we'll go and get him. We'll go and get
well,
him. The problem is like the size of the vehicle and how many people we can transport in it.
Well, we
it's
can.
more than
truck.
common to see
I can
someone
get
in the
in the
bed
back.
of a
Yeah.
truck
All right.
in the South, especially back in the day. Hell, even fucking 10 years ago.
No. They haven't made it illegal yet.
No.
Yeah. Not at all. It's commonplace at
Yeah.
that point.
Cool.
If you get in an accident, you fucked yourself. Congratulations.
Yeah, took your life into your own hands.
Should have wore a helmet.
Yeah, we can go get him then. Why not?
People still volunteer to be in the rodeo.
Yeah. So can we get back to where we were from the highway without driving cross country?
No, you have to go off road just a bit.
Okay.
Once,
I'm sure this truck will cope with it.
yeah, you're able. It's not like you're going down a steep incline or anything. The grade is sloped relatively reasonably. It's a bit bumpy here and there. You kind of like grimace when you hit a deep hole, but other than that, it's not bad. And you make your way towards the undeveloped portion of the graded area for construction, and then you're immediately on new asphalt not long after.
Alright.
House number 7 quickly comes into view. Also hail. I'm good with that.
Okay. What
I
even
will
the
say-
automated defense turrets and the landmines?
Yes.
Cool.
Don't forget the moat with the laser pointer shark on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharks with freaking laser.
Wait, we got sharks? I should have fucking just waited and dumped the
Laser
body in
beam.
there.
I will say the first portion you do have to adjust it because you're not able to find a small spade, and there's not enough space for the full shovel.
I was imagining that was going to be the case.
Yeah. You shore up what you need to shore up. And I would, yeah. And what you do is you turn the flashlight to actually face up like Jules had been. And it's like just a small hanging harness for it that you can put it in or take out easily.
Yeah. I mean, if I can find a piece of like polished metal or shiny metal that I can stick above it that will reflect the light better, then great. If I can't, it doesn't really matter too much.
Oh, easily.
Best
if
possible.
nothing else, you probably pulled off a piece of nearby tin roofing.
Mhm.
There was a makeshift walkway at some point and it has fallen to pieces. So you just repurposed one of those and cleaned it up a little bit.
Okay. Do you need me
You
to make any
also were-
rolls? Are you happy with that?
I would say, do you have any particular skill?
I have craft 3.
focuses? Craft?
I have a specialism in metalworking, but I don't think this really counts.
No, let's do craft and
My man.
wits.
Wits? Craft.
Wit. Freaking laser beams.
I knew you were going to say that. What's difficulty?
Put it at 3.
3? Good God. 5 successes of 3.
Holy moly, sir. You build a small fort. There is a moat with sharks.
I mean, what? As I said before, like function over form is the most important thing. But if I get more successes than I need to build something that's function over form, I'll put comfort in.
So what I'm thinking, the 3 was to have it fully light proofed from the exterior. You have vastly surpassed that. It is also more or less temperature controlled due to the insulation that you put around. And the bottom of the building above you was already insulated regardless. So it's cool under here. It's going to remain cool under here because it's hidden from the light of day. You're going to have resonant ground warmth, but it's going to be minimal. Any residual cool air is going to sink down here. So it's going to be comfortable, it's going to be safe, it's going to be secure. And in fact, with the number of successes that you managed, it is not visible that the skirt of the mobile unit has been messed with at all.
Cool. That's exactly what I wanted. And if I've got the capability of doing so, I'll put like extra pieces of insulation at various points in the construction for people to sleep. Or like, I want to make it like if I've got the capability of making it more comfortable, I will. But that's very much a second.
You originally cannibalized the nearest closest lot to House 7.
Mm-hmm.
But realizing the amount of time that the others were taking with whatever was giving them maybe extra difficulty, and seeing that there is a set of headlights stopped up on the road, you know that progress is being made. You start going to other sites nearby because you know this house is at this stage. It probably has these things in it. And then you found actual tools in another one that somebody had left. So you had a hammer, you had nails, you had actual rolls of extra insulation. You've managed to put the fiberglass facing down to where the backing is up for everybody else so that they don't necessarily have to worry about fiberglass if they lay on it. It's comfortable, it's functional.
Okay, good. While I'm doing all of this, if I'm collecting tools in order to do stuff, I don't want to put them back afterwards. I want to collect them and keep them underneath the unit.
Okay.
Particularly the kind of things that are going to be useful to take back with us.
All right. These are much nicer, newer tools than the ones that you were working with prior. I will also say that you find an area that you believe you can enter and exit underneath the mobile offices that is obscured by nearby vegetation.
Perfect.
So even if you stay a little longer than anticipated, it's not going to be as obvious if you make tracks.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, when I'm done, I'll just I'll lie down inside it and I'll relax. I'll catch some a little bit of relaxation time.
You don't get too much relaxation time. You see headlights bobbing and bouncing in the distance, Dukes of Hazzard style, as they head towards you. And they pull up. Actually, one, who's driving?
I'll drive, it's fine.
All right. How far do you go? Do you go to the house that you got the keys for, or do you go up to where the offices are? Because the offices have a path that's been worn by vehicles going near it and parking over there, but there's nothing official.
Yeah, I go.
I mean, if I see them coming, I'll get up and walk out towards the car.
Yeah, we'll probably go out. We'll go up to the house. Yeah.
Okay. You pick them up the house. You pull out of the community, correct? I imagine you're taking the paved roads now. And head into Laplace.
I'll probably say something like, couldn't have picked up a car that had like more than 3 seats in it. Excellent.
You're also coated in dirt.
Yeah. And I'll climb up into the bed at the back. I wasn't planning on getting in the car with them.
Oh no, I'm making sure you know that you are absolutely covered in dirt.
I mean, that's situation normal for Frank anyway, so it's no big deal.
I like to imagine there's probably little like little window like where you can like slide it to talk in the back. I know they made them because my uncle had to let that say.
Well, that's easy enough. Smash! There's now a hole.
Well, no, there's like no need to do that. They had like little things where like you can, because they sliding little back door type of thing. Hey,
64 Chevy.
Here, I will share the image.
Ah, yes, splendid.
If you're driving like you drove on the way here to get back to the highway, he's going to be holding on for grim death.
Jules will just
I would
like
be
open it and
courteous.
look at him and be like, "Hold on," and then close the window. Keep the window open.
Nice.
You'll occasionally hear as he bounces up and down in the back of the bed as you guys go over big bumps and stuff. You'll hear him like old-fashioned cursing.
Jules
No actual swearing, just like old-fashioned cursing.
What in
Jules,
tarnation?
Jules will just be like,
please.
try not to laugh, while she's still trying to hold on for dear life as well.
Seems a bit rowdy back there, for sure. Moving on towards Laplace, you make good pace. You think it's probably been a few hours, so it's likely around midnight at this point. A lot of the exterior buildings, homes, smaller businesses have shuttered themselves. Their lights are off, their doors are closed, no one's particularly outside. But as you move towards the main focal point for Laplace, lights start to actually build back up. It's not really small businesses, it's a couple of scattered housing units, a few homes, like actual homes and not what looks like low-lying apartments. And then you notice the frost top. It is unmistakable. Jules, you've actually probably been here a few times. There's a giant root beer mug sign, which is neoned out, sitting above, drawing attention towards the top.
Nice.
And you notice that there is also a worn metal elephant on one corner, which seems to be in a checkered yellow and brown pattern, which follows the pattern of both the mug and the interior from what you can see. There are picnic tables lining two sides on the exterior, and it looks like there are 4 parking spaces around each side. Like, this is a drive up, be served at your car, or go in and sit down and eat as well. This place is happening right now. You see that there are probably 3 or 4 couples inside, a handful of teenagers outside eating and laughing and having a good time. The interior is definitely more of a warm yellow, neutral brown tone pattern. You have alternating tile floor that is the same, and it carries up throughout with wood paneling on the bottom half of the walls and yellow wallpaper on the upper half. And most of these walls are covered in recent and slightly older, like 50s style advertisement posters for their drinks and their foods, which is hot dogs, french fries, soft serve ice cream, sodas, things like that. You see this as you're like kind of driving around, probably making a circle to find a parking spot. Yes, that is it. That is the frost stop.
Do you think we can get that that mug to our new place?
Nice.
I'm just lying down in the bed, so I'm not going to be able to see this until they stop.
Oh, you're just laying there?
I mean, I don't want to sit up because it's going to draw some attention if I'm actually sitting in the back or standing in the back of the bed. So I'm just going to lie down and keep out of sight.
So we'll pull up, not right up close, but near enough so we're not like obviously trying to stay away, but equally we're not in everyone's eye line.
I mean, there's parking spaces along this area. You don't have to park right at the building. But there is
Yeah.
enough light to illuminate the area. Let's just put it that way. And it seems like mostly a younger crowd here right now.
Do we know what this woman looks like?
What description?
Just a description. You don't have an image or anything so far. Petite, dark hair, shoulder length or short. Probably you weren't really given a description of her clothing or anything to that nature. You know, she's not. She looks younger. She looks like maybe a teenager.
About like Jules' age.
Jules, or maybe even a little bit younger than that, depending on how she dresses herself. So you two would be very close.
So I'm hearing murder all brunette teenage girls.
With shoulder length hair.
Oh, she had black hair.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do both just to be on the safe side.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay. For the storyteller, how much of this is serious?
Oh,
What do you mean?
Fair enough. Understood. Got it.
Last resort. We'll do something like that.
First resort,
No,
last
no.
resort, you know.
It depends on the mood.
Only resort. I mean, it's both at that point, right?
I
Last
mean,
resort if we don't have a pre-existing plan.
right.
So we're pulling up to stop, yeah? Or are we
Yeah.
still driving?
Yeah. No, we're stopped nearby, not at the place, but nearby.
All right. Once we're stopped, I'm hopping out the back.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to just ask around and see if Alice is about?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
preferable.
Is there a bathroom? Is this like a... This isn't like a gas station, is it? This is like a
This
restaurant.
is not a
right?
gas station. This is like a restaurant. There is a pair of bathrooms inside.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in towards the bathroom. Like I'm covered in mud. I'm and dirt. I'm gonna go and clean up.
Nobody stops you, but you definitely get some looks.
I don't care.
Jules will wait until one of them gets out so she can get out, and then blush of life and head into the frost top. I mean, blush of life, arouse the blood. Wait, I roused earlier. Is that still on? Or is that still good? Or
I imagine it's still going
okay,
because you've been maintaining it, right?
yeah, I guess. I'll just go ahead and there. I succeeded, and I didn't get hunger.
There you go.
I'm still at 0 hunger, so
For the time being.
one more time.
I said yes for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. I'm gonna jinx myself. And then she'll go into the frost top and kind of look around at all the younger kids and maybe walk up and say, "Hi, my name is Jules. I'm looking for Alice."
Oh, hi. You quickly draw the attention away from Frank as he's... Is Frank surly right now?
It's Frank Surly right now. And the
I
easy
know
question to answer is, when is he not? Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's definitely surly. He walks in. If anyone looks at him, he's ignoring them. He's like not paying any attention to anybody that's looking at him or trying to engage with him. He has a singular thing in his mind. He wants to take this shirt off. He wants to wash his hair, his face, the back of his neck, and his hands. He wants to douse his shirt in as much water as possible. kind of rub it around a bit and then squeeze as much water out and then put it back on again. That's his entire focus in his mind right now, and he doesn't give a shit about what anyone else does or says.
Jules, as you come up to the first group of teenagers, it's 4 of them, 3 guys and a girl sitting at a table inside, and each of them is just kind of absent-mindedly sipping on a drink or like halfway about to eat a fry as they are watching Frank just mean mug everyone out of his way. And they actually flinch at first, not realizing you're there because they are so distracted by him before looking over at you. And one of the guys smiles awkwardly. "Oh, hi. I haven't seen you around here before. Sorry.
It's cool.
Alice?"
Yeah, Alice. It's cool, I was moved in and everything. From out of town. I'm a friend of Alice. I'm from Beaumont,
Oh.
Texas.
Oh. So the only Alice I know and go to school with, but she's not in town right now.
Oh.
She's out for the summer visiting family, so I don't think it's the Alice I know.
Well, I
Sorry,
don't
the
know.
Alice we know.
Shoulder length black hair, slim, athletic.
No, ours is a blonde.
Oh, well, shame. And what's your name?
Oh, I'm Luke.
Nice to meet you,
Sorry.
Luke. It's fine.
Nice to meet you too. And he half gets up quickly, wipes his hands off, and holds out a hand towards you to shake.
She'll shake it.
This is Chris. That's James, and this is Mary.
Hi, nice to meet y'all.
It's good to meet you. Welcome to town.
Thank
You already
thank you.
found the best spot. And
Oh.
he motions to the restaurant.
Y'all come here all the time?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the only places open really late anyway,
Oh.
outside of like the drag race stop, but they're closed by 1,
Oh,
and we
okay.
don't really gamble that much.
Well, you really shouldn't, It's dangerous. You could lose your shirt.
She gives you a awkward smile. What are Peter and Oscar up to?
I'm half considering going inside, asking for my grandfather with autism. Sorry, not autism, Alzheimer's. He gets lost sometimes, and likes to shower in random bathrooms, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm also kind of seeing what Peter does.
So he's
He
going
seems to
to,
have experience.
yeah, he's going to have a look around, see who's hanging about. So obviously there's kids, it's like a happening type thing. But is there like a homeless guy or someone that's sort of kind of hanging around in on the periphery? Anything like that? Apart from Frank, obviously.
You don't notice what looks to be any individual down on their left presently. Everybody seems relatively well kept, clean, groomed. You do notice that there is a gentleman kind of just leaning against a car nearby, watching the frost top. And he looks like he's actually just come out of a day of being at the office. He's got a button down shirt, khaki pants, nice shoes. His sleeves are rolled up, his collar's unbuttoned. It seems like he's just trying to relax, and you see that there's food on the hood of his car, and he's sipping on his drink while he just kind of. You're not sure if he's staring intently at the frost top or if he is just kind of gazing into space. Welcome back, Grandpa with Alzheimer's.
Do we know if this Alice works here or was supposed to have worked here?
No,
Or
you
just
didn't
somewhere
get
that she goes
that.
to?
Just that this is probably one of her favorite spots, or one of the spots she's most likely to turn up.
It was the closest to where we were staying, also, I think.
Yeah, if you had just come directly here, it would have been, yeah.
So I'll work my way inside. Find one of the sort of more senior, like, waitresses.
There's a late 30s, early 40s woman who is bustling about, cleaning up after teens that haven't put away their trays. And she seems to be working in tandem with a gentleman behind the counter about the same age range as her. She's got graying blonde hair pulled up in a nice bun, and it looks like she's wearing an apron with the logo on the front for the Frost Stop
Okay.
over a polo and jeans.
But there's a guy behind the counter.
Mm-hmm. He is dressed very similar to her, and he is actively cooking and serving order requests. She seems to be doing double duty between cashier and cleaning up when she has time.
I lean on the counter and try and get the guy's attention.
He glances towards you, finishes making the sandwich he was working on, and sets it on the counter, getting her attention before fully turning to you and wiping his hands down. Uh, you're a new face. How can I help you, sir?
Looking for someone. Don't know if you know Alice. Give the description: young, 18, 19, dark hair, shoulder length, short hair.
I mean that fits a few of our customers tonight, but no one here currently. I don't know by name. I know Anne. Anne kind of fits that.
Anne.
Anne.
Whereabouts is she then?
Oh, she left about an hour ago. I don't know where she went. She usually is around here mid-evening.
I slide over a $5 bill and just under my hand, but make it obvious that it'd be really important if I found her. I mean, I've a little bit concerned about her welfare. We need to make sure she's okay.
Um,
I don't suppose you got a way of contacting her at all?
mm-mm. No, I don't. And he eyes the $5 bill warily, kind of watching you as well. What's this about?
As I say, we're concerned for her welfare and we just need to make sure she's okay. Any help finding her would be really, really appreciated.
I think I want to roll from you.
What would you like?
I would like a... Because you're not trying to intimidate him. You're being polite about it. Let's go with
A minute.
subterfuge manipulation.
Of
We'll
course
set
you
it.
would.
We'll
Of
set
course
it
you
at a
would.
1 if you can lower it. Because you are fairly genuine with how you've worded things. You make it. You get the sense that he actually feels a little more intimidated by you than worried about Anne by the end of your conversation. And he politely just takes the edge of the bill and slides it under his hand with a quick motion. She's usually here between 10 and 12. You missed her about 30 minutes ago. She walked that way, and he points behind him. Housing the dragway is back there. I don't know where she stays. I don't have a contact for her, but she's usually here 4 or 5 nights out of the week. She's starting to become a regular. If she's run away from home, didn't know.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your help. Thanks very much.
He nods, puts the bill under the counter. Over by where he was working.
I shall have a wander back to car and relay the information.
Jules eventually tear her away.
Oh, they are having a great time with Jules. They're very talkative.
Yeah. But she'll notice that, like, Pete is headed back to the car. Is Hank at the car again? I mean, Frank. One of those.
Frank, you're able to clean up relatively well. It's not a large bathroom. There's some hand soap in there. You're able to get most of the dirt and grime off of yourself. It's serviceable. It's not great, but it's serviceable.
Apparently that's what he's aiming for. Basically, he just wants to douse his shirt in water and then squeeze as much of the water out and put his shirt back on. He's like, he's a super practical guy who's not really worried about creature comforts. So he does what he can. He'll also, to be fair, he will also try and clean up after himself as best he can as well.
Okay.
Like, he's not intentionally going out of his way to
dirty the place up.
Dirty the place up. No, like he's conscious of himself and how he impacts into the world around him, and he tries to minimize that as much as possible.
Okay.
Not that that's always possible, but
give me a wits awareness, please, Frank.
at a difficulty of
1.
2 successes.
All right. It takes you a few moments to notice it, but you're scrubbing away at your arms and your hands and making sure that you get the dirt as best you can off of yourself. And then you look up, and as you're rinsing off of your face and kind of slicking your hair to the side a bit as well as you can, making it look styled without having any product or anything, right? You're making yourself presentable.
Yeah.
You notice that there is a hand following yours as you're making these motions, and it looks very familiar. And as you go about your routine, you realize it's almost as though it's not your hand, it's their hand gently like helping clean you up in the mirror. And then it's gone.
So it's copying my motions, or I'm copying its motions?
Both.
So I'll probably be having a conversation with it while I'm doing it.
Okay.
So I'll start off doing it, and then when the hand starts to do something different, I'll start following and go, yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I know. I'm messy. I got all messy earlier on, and like he's being apologetic to it, and not making excuses for himself, but like being grateful to it for helping.
Right. And I mean, you recognize this hand.
Yeah.
It's feminine, it's dainty. And at the end of your conversation, it gives you in the mirror, you don't feel it. Depending on where your mindset is, you may imagine that you feel it, but it gives you a gentle brush of the back of its fingers down your cheek, and then it's gone.
Frank will then leave the bathroom with a smile on his face. Probably the first time anyone's seen a smile on Frank's face.
I'm going to tell you this. Everybody in the establishment goes quiet when Frank leaves. And the lady that was waiting tables just kind of leans over as inconspicuously as she can to see inside the door before it closes. And she's just like, pleasantly surprised brow raise that it is almost spotless inside compared to how dirty he was when he went in.
Has everybody left this place already?
I think Jules is lingering inside. Did Oscar end up going in?
No, Oscar didn't go inside.
So
If
Jules.
if Jules is still here, he won't leave the restaurant. He'll walk to the counter. He'll plonk himself down on a stool. He'll look at the guy by the counter, and he'll kind of like slightly absent-mindedly smile at him and say, "Can I get coffee?"
Yeah, no problem. Give me just a second. And he sets down a cup in front of you and pours you a full mug of coffee. And then he puts a basket of sugar packets and a creamer, like little.
Oh, when he starts moving that stuff over, he just put his hand up. No, just black.
He nods.
Thanks. He'll pick the coffee up and he won't drink any of it. He'll just sniff at it, and he's keeping himself to himself, but he's keeping an eye on Jules at the same time.
It's definitely strong coffee, and it smells fresh. It smells like they made it probably within the past 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean he's in a positive mood, so he's gonna be enjoying the smell of coffee.
Mm-hmm. The guy behind the counter is going to politely ask if he's going to describe Peter. He's going to ask if you were with him.
Sure.
Okay. Don't worry about it then. He already paid.
No. He'll take his wallet out, and he'll I mean, I don't know how much coffee is in. He'll push $1 across the table towards him.
He nods.
Inconvenience.
I understand. It's appreciated. Here. And he breaks the dollar bill for you and gives you back 90 cents.
I mean, he'll shrug and take. He was planning on giving him $1, but that's fine. If he wants to give him the change back, he'll sweep it up into his pocket.
He didn't anticipate you wanted to give him the whole $1, and he also seems to not want to actually charge you, since you said you were with Peter. Jules, how are you handling this sudden development?
Well, Jules is making nice and everything. I'm guessing they're giving like little small talk. I don't know.
Yeah, they're letting you know about the local school, their recent competitions, what they're looking forward to this coming year.
Go sports team.
Go sports team.
Sports team.
They said that they hope that they actually make regional. They're looking forward to getting to travel a bit if they can pull it together. It's going to be their senior years.
Well, you need the senior year to be your best year. I mean, you got your whole lives ahead of you and all. Where do you plan on going to college?
Probably down at Tulane. They recently opened.
Oh.
They've been working on that campus for a while now.
I see. Jules, I guess, will look and notice that Frank is at the counter. And I guess notice that he's smiling and like, oh, well, that's new.
I mean, Frank smiling isn't like his face isn't lit. He's not pure joy in his face. It's like the perpetual frown on his face is kind of eased somewhat. There is his perpetual downwards facing mouth is kind of like straightened out a bit. He looks more chilled out than he was before.
If he's looking at her, she'll kind of nod and then motion with her head if he wants to go outside. Yeah, I'm guessing. Did she notice that Pete was in there?
No,
yes.
Pete's gone.
Okay.
He was in there.
Came and went.
Gotcha. Came and went. So she'll like do that, and kind of like how you have the look of like you want to go,
He will singularly nod, but he'll stay where he is. He's not like staring at her. He's just like he's looking pretty much straight ahead, but every so often he'll look around the place and look in her direction, like he's not making it obvious that they're together.
Gotcha. Then Jules will be like, "Hey, this has been fun, but I got to go. Got to help with the rest of the moving in and everything."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but y'all
Well,
are
we
here.
look forward to seeing you around, says Chris.
Yeah. Will you be here tomorrow night?
Maybe. We don't come out here every night, but
Oh,
sure, why not?
yeah. I'll see you then.
Oh, and sorry, I meant they've been doing renovation on the campus, and they actually have like a new wing open
Oh, they do.
recently. Yeah,
Oh,
the campus has been there a long time, but it's been, spiffed up.
oh. I bet you it looks really swell and all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
Um,
remember what they would say back then.
Swell.
Swell,
grand.
grand, not square. Well, anyway, it's nice to meet you. I'll see you tomorrow night, and maybe sometime, in class or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, catch you later.
They wave.
And she'll wave. I was about to do finger guns, but yeah, Jules wouldn't do finger guns. And then walk out and head back to where the others are.
You reconvene at the rather stylish truck of the time.
Out of character, what was the guy's name?
Luke.
There was Luke, Chris, and James.
Oh, I was talking about the guy that I killed. That Jules killed. Yeah.
Chase.
Chase
His name
Smith.
was-
Chase.
Yeah.
It was Chase.
Well, not much of a chase, was it?
Of the ones that were in the diner,
Mm-hmm.
was the sexiest one called Chris?
I know this is a trick question, so the answer is yes.
Excellent. I thought as much.
Well, we don't know if there are any Richards there, though.
I'm making a note.
Oh, he wouldn't have been sexy.
Anyway.
No, he would have been ugly.
For those eventually listening, the flaw, ugly, was emphasized on the character sheet. Hence the inside joke. All right. Frank, you see the rest of your group making their way outside.
I'll give it 90 seconds before I get. I'm not. I don't want to make it look like I'm following her out because that's going to look really fucking dodgy. I'll give it like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Plenty of time that she would have left the place and gone off in her own way. I'm not obviously following her. And then I will get up from the chair. I'll catch the guy's eye. I'll nod at him, and then I'll leave.
He gives you a nod back and waits for you to go out the door before, when you look back, he's clearing down where he's at. Like he makes sure you're not gonna turn back around,
Mhm.
and then cleans it down. All right. You guys move the next parking lot over where you ended up taking a spot so you weren't directly nearby. Oscar is sitting inside the vehicle.
All right. So we learned that she's not here.
That's what we've learned. She's not here. She might not be going by the name of Alice. Could be going by the name of Anne. She's here 4 or 5 nights of the week between 10 and 12. And she went that way about half an hour before we got here.
They got good coffee too.
And they're open late.
Okay. So if we go to the next place and strike out, she might come back by here.
Maybe.
I think we're going to need a second vehicle. or an alternative to this one, because I ain't gonna ride around the back of this this bed all the time. This is not ideal. Unless someone else wants to ride in the bed, and I'll drive.
I'll swap with you.
Do you
You won't
think
go in the bed, Doc. You'll get thrown out. There's nothing to you.
I
We
have
do it all the time, though.
I have
did
an
it all the time.
idea?
What's up, Jay?
How about if we go to this guy's house and see if they have cars?
Okay, cool. We need to find more flashlights as well.
Was it a? I've been listening to y'all talk too much. Laplace. Is it a Laplace address?
Yes.
I don't see why not then.
We could always use his house as a base of operations.
I do really need to go back and get that book, though.
I'm sorry. Did I not just go to quite some effort to build us a perfectly, and I mean perfectly, good forward operation base?
Yeah, but it's good to have options.
Can I see his ID real fast?
Hands it to him.
I don't know if it was mentioned in character or not, but he's 19, so he probably doesn't live alone.
Well, I do need to feed. And that was kind of the point of coming out tonight, wasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, originally.
So, who's driving?
I tell you what, y'all can like sit up front. I'll go in the back, and then Jules will get in the back of the bed of the truck and lay down.
You better hold on there, Jay.
Okay.
I have an important question. You
Yeah.
know essentially the parish or county, however you want to describe it. How do you find the actual address?
What do you
How
mean?
do you find your way to it?
We'll find a gas station, probably get a map, I would have thought.
Perfectly reasonable.
Because we don't have mobile phones with GPS in them, so assumedly
No.
we'll have to do it the old school way.
Also, a lot of times back in the day, they would have a map in the glove compartment. Even little city maps.
Well, there might be a map in the glove box. Who knows?
Yeah. It depends on our storyteller.
I mean, if you
Does
want to
depend on
double
us.
check, because you did find a couple things in there. You didn't
Let's,
go through it particularly just yet.
Let's have a good, thorough fertile through it.
Okay.
Maybe there's just like a description of how to get to his house written in there.
Investigation.
If found, please return to using this path. Investigation.
Yeah, and wits.
Go down 2 lane, and then take a left at Lafayette, and then a right, and then, you know.
If you come to a large
yeah.
expanse of water with icebergs floating in it, you've gone too far.
You open the glove box and you start rummaging through it, and everything's nice and neat in there for the most part. You find 3 maps. You find a map of Mississippi. You find a map of Louisiana, and you find a map of the New Orleans area, more particular. So the local parishes to this area. It takes you a while. Who would like to try and figure out where on this map his address is?
I'm going to drive.
I'll do it.
Okay.
That looks a lot like book stuff to me.
Investigation intelligence.
was afraid you'd say that.
We got us a reader.
Put it at a 2. Look at that.
Boom.
2 out of 2.
You recognize the address to a degree.
You've got an intelligence investigation score of 2. And I've been calling you Doc.
I feel lied to.
Look. Investigation, not that great. Medicine, yeah.
But your intelligence is 1.
No, it's 2.
Oh, I see. So your intelligence is 2 and your investigation is nothing.
Yes.
Understood.
The doctor unfurls the map and takes up the entire cabin for a moment, trying to figure out exactly where you are. He pinpoints New Orleans, he pinpoints Laplace, he pinpoints the Frost Top then, and he starts to circle outwards from there for the name of the road or street that this individual's license lists. And eventually he comes down to Jody Lane, which is
Who's Jody Lane?
it's
She's lovely.
it's a out of the way area down the side of the Mississippi, and the opposite direction that the young man was driving.
So he was driving away from that place.
He was driving away from there.
Okay. Because he was on his way out. Makes sense.
Okay.
While they're doing that, Jules is like in the back with her like legs up, like with the on the back windshield, and she's lit up a cigarette and is like just smoking, chilling.
Goodness. All right. You know that you need to take Route 61 westward to the main street, then south on Main, then southeast, doubling back towards New Orleans on East 5th until you go to Jody Lane.
Okay. I'll drive it.
Okay. It takes you around 20 minutes to get there. It's not particularly difficult, it's just making certain that you don't miss a turn. In fact, you think you could probably make this drive in 15 minutes with clear roads.
Okay.
Turning off on Jody Lane, you head down towards the end, trying to discern which side this individual lived on. Houses out here are relatively far between one another compared to that subdivision that was being built that you were in. These homes are like 3 and 4 houses apart. They have large plots of land.
Huge.
You pull up to a home on the right-hand side, which matches the numbers on his license. And you see that there are 2 other vehicles under a carport. A single-story squat house, looks almost like a ranch style. Heavy tree line behind it, an overgrown yard, and a couple of other vehicles in various states of repair and disarray. There are lights on inside. Although not all of the windows are lit up, you can tell that maybe it's the either kitchen or living room.
I'm gonna pretend, because this is a role-playing game, I'm gonna pretend that I don't know that Isaac is as clever as I am. And I'm gonna assume that Frank is of the opinion that he's much cleverer than Frank is. So he's gonna turn to Isaac. What's the plan then, Doc?
Well, where are you from again, Frank?
He is from. Did I write it down? I didn't write it down. Give me 2 seconds. I will tell you as soon as I see the map. Google Maps. He's not from the UK. He
I
is
thought you were from one of the neighboring states,
He is.
either Mississippi or Alabama.
He is from Mississippi. Yeah, not too far from Jackson.
Okay. Okay, then you would know. Then I'm not gonna. I wouldn't.
Mansplain.
Yeah, that everyone has guns in this part of the country. Stealth is probably our best option, unless
Yeah.
you want to bust out some of that wood cracking strength that you guys have.
I
Knock it off.
ain't too good at sneaking around. I'm much better at like going through doors and putting people down as quickly as possible.
How about if
I can
knock on
hang
the
back
door?
if there's. I can hang back if there's quieter people, but
I want to say, I believe that this is likely his parents' house, and likely just his parents are home. So, if you want to go in, you can. I will come around from the back.
do we knock and engage him at the door, or do we just go straight in?
Oh,
What's the purpose of this
what?
visit?
Yeah. Are you guys? Are you trying to feed? Are you?
Well,
Are we trying to take another car? Are we robbing them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to control yourself in a manner different from Jules?
Sure.
Are you going to kill them?
No, I'm completely in control.
Okay.
I just, out of
Then,
character, I just love the fact that Frank is just not surprised or even questioning that Jules killed someone. Just,
I mean, I saw what you were like when we were training. Like,
Yeah.
You approach it however you feel is best for you to do what you need to do.
if anything, Frank's slightly annoyed that he didn't get an opportunity to do it as well.
Yeah.
All right, Doc.
How's... Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's just okay, Doc.
How's Peter feel about all of this right now?
No, wanting to get the job done. We're kind of going a bit off track, but if we need another car, we need another car.
Fair enough.
But the whole
Okay.
eating thing, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Frank will get out of the car then and start walking towards the front door.
I'll head around back.
Jules will be behind Frank. Do you want me to knock? Oh, she's smoking her cigarette.
He'll bow and gesture for you to go ahead.
She'll walk up to the front door and knock on it.
Stand on the left, though.
Then she'll stand to the left after she knocks.
You hear a couple of dogs barking inside. One has a deeper bark, and then there are a couple smaller yip-yap voices. And they take a moment to get quieted down. You hear somebody calming them before they move to the door. There's a hesitation, as you can tell they're trying to look through the front. And they see a truck out there. Because there's a small curtain. They pull it aside and they look out. And you see an elderly woman who looks to be probably late 60s, maybe in her 70s. And she seems to have been likely waiting up, standing there in a muumuu, and she goes to open the door. The latch unlatches and she opens it a crack. as if she's going to go out and check on the truck.
When the dogs bark, I'm going to look at Pete. He said he liked animals. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to look at him like knowingly.
Well, yeah. I'm going to scoot round the back stealthily.
All right. I'm going to stand to the side so that Jules is effectively standing in the sort of to the left of me, but kind of like in view.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for that door to open.
Okay, and I mean, like, there's a hesitancy to it at first, and nothing happens when it opens the first like inch or so, and then she opens it more fully and goes to actually step outside.
Okay. My intention is to, with one hand, reach forward and grab her by the throat, and the other hand reach forward and clamp it over her mouth.
Okay. Let's go with dexterity brawl, because you're not trying to harm yet.
Nope. In fact, I would suggest, like, it's more of a grapple than anything else.
Yes.
So would grapple come into the specialty pool? Excellent. That's what I was going for. Dexterity. Difficulty.
Oh, we'll just put it 2.
2.
You managed. It's difficult reining in the strength that you currently have, but your goal isn't to hurt this woman presently. It's to catch her off guard and subdue her.
Mhm.
And you're able to do that. As your first hand shoots out to catch her by the throat, you notice that she is easily lifted off of her feet. She's much shorter than you, much more petite, almost frail even, and her age is very apparent. And the moment your other hand quickly clamps over her mouth, her eyes just bug. They become as wide as saucer plates, and she's looking at you completely frozen. And Jules and Frank, you too, but Jules even more so because you currently have Blush of Life going. Both of you catch the scent of a home that has had animals in it for some time. Not necessarily unclean, but there is just the scent that there have been dogs here for probably several years.
This house is on a street of houses, or is it
Yes.
off the main street? Okay, it's on the street of
It's
houses.
it's off a main road,
Mhm.
but there are still houses on this street.
So is this where we're standing? Is this overlooked?
No. You have enough privacy that you think that prying eyes would not be able to see what is currently happening without likely binoculars and trying to see.
Okay, so I got her like this.
Mm-hmm.
My plan is to go like this and like that.
I mean,
Like lift her off her feet. I don't care what her arms and legs are doing.
Yep.
Lift her off her feet by her neck. Pull her head off head to one side, and I'm just going to bite her. And as I'm doing that, I'm just going to walk into the house.
I'm gonna pull her head off. She's not a Barbie.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. I don't really understand my strength, so
Yeah. In fact, give me a strength.
just a strength check.
Just a strength. If you have to I just want to see how many successes you get, so you don't have to worry about setting the number needed.
Okay. Does it matter that I have prowess and lethal body?
Unless you're intending to use them.
Yeah.
Then yes.
Yeah. I'll need to rouse for prowess. Oh, what do you know? I don't get hungry.
I don't think it would really matter if you did.
None. Right. Size +2. And you're looking at difficulty effectively of 0, right?
Yeah.
Or 1. Let's put 1 in.
We'll put 1.
4.
Yeah. You go to hold her head to the side, and there is a snap. Just almost immediately. No pain, no severe struggling, just a snap, and her body goes limp. But
Okay.
you can tell her eyes are still watching you. And then
Well-
you begin to feed as you step into the building.
So basically, I want to keep. I'm going to push until I hit a wall.
Yep.
And then, obviously, I'm biting in the process of doing so. I don't really care what her arms and legs are doing. I imagine they're probably going to go relatively limp very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave the rest of the scene for everyone else to deal with.
That being said, the rest of the scene plays out thusly for Jules. Jules, you watch this incident in front of you happen, and then almost automatically, as if on rails, Frank moves across the living room, just knocking things over in his wake and out of his way until he reaches a solid surface, at which point he begins to truly and almost animalistic feed off of this elderly lady in the process.
Jules will follow and close the door, you know. And then, is Pete behind her?
I'll go around the back.
Oh, he's going around the back? Okay, since she knows that, she'll just close the door and let it close too. And then
you hear low growling, and when you look over in the corner, you see what looks like a mixed breed, probably golden or a yellow lab. It's very clear it is not a pureblood, but its predominant features are a yellow lab, and then there are 3 smaller chihuahuas around it. And they're kind of half cowering, half aggressively growling towards what's happening. They clearly want to do something, but they don't want to go near Frank.
Gotcha.
And they're tucked in a corner next to a black and white TV set that is currently playing.
Gotcha. Anyone like in a chair or anything in front of the TV?
There was a recliner it looks like she had been sitting in it, and you do hear a voice from the back of the house calling for Jane, asking her what's going on.
She'll head towards the voice.
Oscar and Peter, you make your way around the back of the home. You don't hear any particular distress at the front. And as you make your way around, you notice that there is a fenced-in yard. The back door is actually behind a small screened-in porch. And it looks like there's a screen door in front of the back door. Is on behind it, and it looks like there's a pull cord roll-up curtain on it from the interior.
I'm going to try and quietly open the door.
The porch is open. You don't have any issue with that. The screen door opens without any issue, but the back door seems to be locked.
Is it an outward or an inward opening door?
Outward, so towards you. There are windows, by the way, across the back end of the house that look onto the porch and out of it.
Are they open or are they just glass windows?
They're glass windows.
So like solid they don't open.
Oh no, like they could slide up.
Okay. Yeah, try and slide one of those open quietly.
The first one you try does not open, but the second one you do try does open, and it leads into the same room as the back door, which appears to be the kitchen. And you can hear low growling and yipping / barking down the hall, and a man's voice very close to where you currently are in the kitchen, calling for Jane and not getting a response. It sounds like he's maybe in the hallway because there's an open door archway that leads into the kitchen from there, or a room close by. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time.